Great start.
You're live, Sean.
Oh, well, I guess it's tradition now that we're going to always mess with Sean in the beginning. All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Paradice RPG. Welcome to our show, Advantage in Paradise. Hope you're all having a lovely holiday season. A few of us got our festive hats on. We are jumping into, is this episode 11 or episode 12?
This is 12.
Okay.
Oh my god, I'm so behind on the edits.
Cal is working on uploading previous episodes to YouTube. Believe the first 5 are up there now, so if you want to catch up or have some friends catch up, but you can jump in anyway and watch now with us as well. As always, our audio is provided by Sirenscape and Tabletop Audio. Tonight we will also be having some music from the service Soundstripe that I use personally for some of my projects and that I'm using tonight for our episode. Yeah, Shannon, if you want to take it away with some social media shout-outs before we get into it.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many people that I would like to shout out. We've made so many friends on Twitter, but I'm going to do 3-ish per week. First people I would like to shout out are these guys that we've met. They're from Scotland, and they have a fabulous, fabulous podcast, and they've been super kind to us. So thank you to @HaggisPatty of @Haggis Dragons. He's the dungeon master for their game, and we've started listening to it, and it's fantastic. So thank you so much for your support. We can't wait to listen to the rest of your story. I would also like to shout out @David P. Glass. He likes and retweets literally everything, so thank you for that, friend. And the last person I'd like to shout out is actually my brother, because he bought me this super amazing dagger. So this rogue now has dagger, and it's awesome. So, what?
No. Just keep show it one more time. Sorry, because I had to make an adjustment real quick.
Yep, there we go.
Very, very nice.
Yes, so thank you, Jonathan, for this. This literally made my day. He is @Bert2D2 on Twitter, if anybody wants to follow him. So we also have one more very special thing that we'd like to do. Our good friends at the Two Dungeon Masters, somebody has a birthday today, so we would like to sing a very quick
Do you want to
happy
wait?
birthday.
Do we want to wait till he actually is in before we go ahead and do that?
Is he not in right now?
I don't.
We're not. I don't think so.
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet. All right.
It would be
okay. Well.
So chat. Those of you who are in right
Yes.
now, let us know as soon as Two Dungeon Masters is in, so we can sing.
It's
That's
Rory.
And
that's
all the
Rory.
characters will sing.
Yes,
It's
All
broken.
fuck over each other.
Yeah, broken. Yeah. So we will stop when he joins, and we will sing to him.
Even if we're in the midst of battle,
Right.
or a very serious RP moment.
Thank you, Vespertine124. Counting on you to let us know when he's there.
I thrust
Appreciate
my
it.
rapier through the enemy's skull and then turned to camera and go,
Okay.
That's all I got.
All right. Excellent. As the DM, I'm going to do one last check to make sure all my laptops are plugged in.
Good job.
Because I'm learning.
Aren't we all?
Almost. About 15 minutes too late, but still good.
No, they're all plugged in. We're good. All right, everybody. So let's jump right into it. I think that's all for announcements. During the break tonight, stick around. We are going to show all the art that we have now. We've got 3 pieces of art from, not all of it? 2 of them. All right, we're going to show 2 of them. We've already seen Cal, though.
Yeah, but I'm gonna display Cal and Scarlet.
Oh, we're not showing.
We're not showing
Timber
Wood
tonight?
Timber yet, but Timber is done.
Okay.
Our good guy at Eddie York.
Mm-hmm. So you all
Does
get
it
to
again.
see Scarlet and Cal again. If you weren't in the stream when we first premiered them, you'll get to see them.
Thanks for the sub.
See them tonight. Ooh, we got a sub. Excellent. Thank you. Summer Silent. So yeah, we'll see some art during the break, and let's jump into it. All right. D&D time. This is where we would have an intro cinematic, but in the future. Last we met, Wiswick and Curon secured permission for the party to leave Maginset to secure medicine and information from the Archdruid's tower at Bracken Hill. You set off with great haste northward on the road, urgently knowing that you only had 7 days before you could to go to your quest and return to Maginset before General Kinsley would declare you outlaws and send men to search for you. So you traveled with haste northward on the road. Along the way, you narrowly noticed a Guavarian stalking a carriage full of meats and other goods. The old man and his daughter quickly rode the cart off at the sight of you drawing your weapons, afraid you might be highwaymen, successfully scaring them off, but also starting to scare the Guavarian off. You began firing warning shots at the creature, the large white haired beast with the gnawed-off lips and large fangs and small beady eyes, was hit with one arrow in the shoulder, and then another arrow hit right in front of it, and it quickly enough scattered off. A lone hunter, it would seem, not a pack. Although those of you with experience with Guavarians would know that they don't normally travel alone. After a bit more travel and keeping your eye out on the road, Curon did notice something as you moved slowly through the light snow and the foggy day. He did notice a humanoid figure about 100 or so yards behind you in the brush. He couldn't make out who exactly it was, just saw that someone was tracking you. I believe he has some ideas, but at the very least you know someone, or Curon knows someone is following you. After a bit more travel as the night began to take over, you stopped in a small glade off the road amongst what looked like the crumbled ruins of an ancient statue. With some investigation, you were able to identify that this was very ancient stonework. You also were able to find several scratched and carved graffiti across the head of the statue that was in the middle of the camp. Here, you carved your own carvings. You found carvings of other travelers. And our rogue Scarlet was able to identify that this was a frequented drop-off point for crimes and smuggled goods. And with some informed investigation, she was able to find, unbeknownst to her companions, a bag of 50 gold's worth of sapphires. And she quickly pocketed away in her bag. The next day, you set off towards the swamps surrounding Bracken Hill. Upon entering those swamps, you found a fog-ridden landscape, a mixture of cracking ice, still pools, and fresh mud. You also found what appeared to be a warding pillar, with a single gem in it, and 2 sockets missing their own gems. Instinctually investigating around, Wiswick sent his familiar bat jet forward through one of the paths, and quickly he found a wall of vines and thorns leapt from the earth, attempting to grapple his familiar that he bamped back to him. So seemingly after more investigation, 2 of these 3 paths you saw were out of your way due to magical wards based around this pillar. So you set off down the only path you could. Eventually, on this path through the swamps, you began hearing screeches in the distance to the east, which you found your path was turning towards. The screeches were occasionally followed by a sweet, lulling music. Frightened by this and uninterested in encountering this danger, you found a short channel in the swamp where you could leap across onto more dry firm land. You all did so successfully until Huron slipped at the last moment and fell onto the ice sheet below. As it was cracking quickly, Cal reached forward and helped him up off the water. And quickly, with the aid of a pass without a trace spell from Timber, you stealthed into what looked like a husk of a building. As a large worm came up from the water, investigating what the sound was. Seemingly hard of sight, but vile nonetheless, a bulbous, pale worm. Large, serrated mouth, like a leech. Little tendons to pull its meal in. Slowly enough, this creature receded. And Curon, using his magic, began investigating for celestials, elementals, and other creatures. It was in that moment that he identified a few things. Largely, he identified what appeared to be 7 or 8 or so elementals, small elementals. Before he could properly warn everyone, Wiswick had rushed forward to clear off a sign to find out if there was a name for this village.
Welcome
At that
to
point,
New Jersey.
Yes, welcome to, and also it smelled really bad in this spot, and it had an unnatural amount of mud in it.
Yes,
for the
Hoboken.
Yes, the ruined village of Hoboken, New Jersey. In the unknown sixth kingdom of the Quintard. But quickly, with that unbeknownst to you, or now beknownst to you, you were beset by... I should follow my notes instead of free wording this. You were beset with several mud mephits, small elemental creatures. Upon defeating them, you were able to find amongst their remains one of the 2 missing warding gems. But the battle was intense, and Wiswick used quite a loud spell, we'll say, as he shattered ice onto these mephits, alerting many around to your location. Very much so, after catching your breath, some of you turned and saw about 60 feet or so away from you what appeared to be that large bulbous worm beginning to step up onto land to seek out the source of the sound. Huron also noticed in the fog beyond what appeared to be some sort of small canine-looking figure that his spell detected to be of Fey origin. It was at this point, as you all turned around, Wiswick triumphantly with his new gem, that you see this large carrion crawler slowly moving towards you, looking about for its next meal. Adventurers, what do you want to do? You do not have a lot of time before this thing comes.
Timber is against the wall. That's he has his back against one of the ruined doorways or whatever walls, and he's facing this monster that's coming up.
Okay.
Being injured the way he is, and understanding based on how it's moving, he's going to assume that it's sound-based movement. I'm going to try to use Minor Illusion to have a screech behind it.
Ooh, okay. All right, give me a... what's the range on the Minor Illusion?
That's a great
30
question.
feet.
Thank you.
30 feet, then the creature is... You can't get past the creature. The creature is 60 feet away from you.
Oh, okay. Timber's gonna...
it's approaching.
Timber's gonna just stay silent, or just stay there, and his trigger, or I'll say his action trigger, is when it gets close enough where I can play a sound behind it.
Okay.
But he's gonna be completely still until then.
Okay, so it's going to get pretty close to you before you can do that. But if you'd like, you could do a stealth check for where you currently are. The rest of you are out in the open right now. There's 4 buildings around you. There's the one Timber's in, which is closer to the creature. There's the one across from Timber that is slightly larger, burnt out barn. And then behind you, a little deeper in, there's 2 other buildings. One looks like a large town center that's burnt down, and one that looks like another small hovel, like the one Timber's in. You're in the middle right now. The creature is about 60 feet away from you. It's probably actually more like 40 feet away from Timber. So it'll be very soon. It'll be right on top of you, and anything you do is not really going to help hide you from it. I do have this going. So what would you like to do?
I
Kieran's
want
gonna
to. Okay, go first.
stealth and try to hide at the closest building to him. Preferably
Ditto.
one that is not going towards the crawler.
Mhm. Okay, so you can hide in. I guess for all of you who are outside of that building, judging from where I left you all last week,
Oh.
Scarlet, you are closest to the building across from Timber, and the rest of you are closer towards the burnt-out town center. So
Kieran's gonna head that way, and he's gonna cast guidance on himself for the inevitable stealth check he has to make.
can you cast guidance on yourself?
You can, but
I
it
think
makes
so.
noise.
You touch one willing creature. Am I a willing creature?
I guess you are willing.
I actually fight it. I don't believe in helping myself.
Okay. All right. So you cast guidance on yourself. So go ahead and give me that stealth roll as you enter into the burnt out town center. Wiswick, Cal, Scarlet, what would you like to do?
I want to stealth into the building that I'm closest to.
Go ahead and give me a stealth roll.
I'll
Wiswick.
follow Kieran.
Okay. Wiswick, are you gonna?
Yeah, I'm also going to try and stealth into the town center. You said that was the closest building.
Yep.
And I'm also going to send out Jet, just as an eye in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to have him fly and start circling above us.
I think they believe they all have Path Without a Trace as well.
Oh, good.
No, they don't.
Damn
Because
it.
they are outside. They need to be within 30 feet of you.
Oh.
They're all outside of that range.
We're within 20 feet of him.
No, you moved up to the town center.
Oh, well, now I did.
Moves you. Yeah.
But I could pass without a trace for about 10 feet.
No.
Look, man, I know basic math. I'm just saying.
Because your act of stealthing is when you hide in the. I
15.
mean, there's the movement too, but.
8.
All right. Sorry. Say that again, Cal.
1, 5, 15.
Q.
8.
Oh no.
No.
Scarlet.
No.
12.
Jeez.
13.
I know.
Bro.
Rolled a 4.
Oh, gee. Wait, what'd you get, Wiswick?
13.
And
I rolled a 15 with disadvantage, guys.
Oh, did we have disadvantage?
I did because I wear chainmail.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Kieran, give me that disadvantage roll.
Nat 1.
Yeah. Looks
Stealth
like we're
of 3.
fighting a worm, guys.
I did not expect you to fight the worm.
Wait.
All right.
Well, I
What would happen if we all just
I have my
put-
trigger at the ready.
So let's hope he goes away, yeah.
Timber, did you give me your stealth roll?
No, but okay.
He's passing without traces.
Yeah, I mean yours is going to be through the roof.
Timber, when
yeah,
he
it's
passes
28.
you, put it over to like the other side. so it
Right,
goes
exactly.
away.
It's going to be. I'm putting it in the opposite direction of what's coming to. If it's coming in my direction, it's going.
Yeah,
I'm going
yeah.
to trigger.
So,
Right.
all right. So so the worm is slowly moving forward. It's slithering through the mud. Timber, you're keeping a sharp eye on it. Your sort of the shadows of your magic are weaving around you to hide you amongst the rubble of this building as you're keeping your eye on it as it's approaching you. How far away from you do you want it to be when you trigger your action?
25 feet. I want it the 5 feet beyond it.
So literally just 5 feet behind it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. While it begins slithering, the rest of you clamber into your spots. Scarlet, you having sort of been disoriented from the fight, you kind of very frightened by this creature for a moment. You forget yourself and you begin heading towards the burnt out barn but you trip and slide around. You feel like you're visually hidden, but you was not a graceful hiding it by any means. Wiswick, you easily enough slip into the town center, quickly followed by Cal. But as you're doing this, Curon waits probably just a hair too long as he looks towards the direction of the fey creature he saw, and thinking about that. And then he recalls as he sees it, oh shit, I gotta get moving. And rushes into the town center, but seems to make a lot of sloppy mud sounds as he quickly slides in and hides behind the rubble. And Wiswick is like, what the fuck, man? I would say, Timber, since you're close to the beast and you have eyes on it, you do see its head turned when Scarlet goes in, and then it turns again when Curon makes his noise. It knows people are here. But yep. What sort of noise would you like to make 5 feet behind it as it approaches you?
Loud footsteps, and like a whisper, like hello.
So it's gonna go.
It's not gonna.
No, it's not gonna go
like,
hello, but
and then feet pattering away like Stewie.
Like die, you beast, or I don't know, like something going to attack it.
Okay. What's your kind of for the sake of this? What's your spell DC?
I think it's 13. It's 13.
Okay. So I'm gonna have this thing do a wisdom saving throw to see if it's fooled by your spell.
I hope it's dumb. I'm sorry. I hope it's naive.
Naive, yeah, that's the word.
Not wise. Dumb. Unwise. All right. So the creature, you cast your spell quietly. You hear the noise behind it, and the creature kind of. It seems distracted for the moment, but it is definitely not completely uninterested in the sounds it heard before. But it is distracted for the moment.
Hit it
What
with
would you all
another
like to
one
do?
10 feet to the right. In a radius. In the right, towards the right.
Did Cal just shout that?
No, we didn't shout that.
If I get to go again, I think at this point, seeing
You'd have, yeah, you can keep doing things here, but it's going to have diminishing returns.
right,
The longer you stick around here, I'd say.
correct.
But if you try to like straight leave at this point, it's going to be another stealth check, and it's you have to get out essentially of this little village.
Can
Which, reminding you, just based on where you are, you have 2 paths you can follow if you were to leave the village. So if you look at it like a grid, so you have where Timber is in the hovel, you have Scarlet in the barn, you have the town center here where the rest of you are, and you have paths going this way. So you have a left and a right to go. But what do you want to do right now? You all can kind of peek out and see that the creature is kind of confusedly looking around. It stopped moving about 25 feet from Timber.
So while it's confusedly looking, I'm going to turn to the 2 guys that are with me. I'm going to be like, and we're going to stealth to the left path.
I'm gonna have been looking
Turn
out
more-
the window to see if I can see them going anywhere.
Preferably to cover. This, stealth one.
Wiswick, Huron, what do you do? Cal's pushing you and pointing towards the left path.
Kieran's gonna follow, and while he does, he's gonna be like, how much hit points do you think this thing has? We could cast a sleep spell on it.
I don't know if I have that.
How much constitution do you think this thing has?
Eventually, there's a thing I could get where I could look at someone and be like, how hard do you think this thing is? But I don't have it yet.
I just
guys,
nod my
what do you-
head towards Cal, and I'm heading towards him.
So, Cal, are you going to start moving out ahead of them and tell them to come with, or are you pushing them out?
No, I'm going first. I'm not a dick.
Okay. All right. All right, then, Huron, you following them?
I captain.
Aye, Captain. All right, I need three of you to make stealth checks.
And I'm gonna
Stealth?
cast guidance on myself.
Can I see them?
Scarlet, I'd say you do see them. And
Okay.
Timber, you would see Scarlet start moving.
You need a stealth
17.
check for me too.
Yes, I do.
Oh.
That's better.
12.
With disadvantage?
Yes.
11
Oh,
with
do-
disadvantage.
Okay. Everybody gets disadvantage, and it makes me nervous. I think I have disadvantage. No
Wiz, what'd
rocks
you get?
nearby, right? I got a 17.
There are
No.
rocks nearby. He could just become a rock. Remember that time he crawled under like live people, just like, oh, that's weird.
Well,
I mean,
he
to
thought
be
he
honest,
was stealth.
mostly he thought he was stealth, but a lot of people saw him and were like, what is this child doing crawling through our legs? What is this bearded child doing crawling through our
Bearded
legs?
child.
Is the circus in town?
Scarlet, what'd you get?
21.
Okay. And Timber, what are you doing?
I would like to. I imagine I see them as well.
You see
Also-
Scarlet, and you assume when you see Scarlet that the others are moving.
So they're all moving away from this thing, right?
Correct. They're all
So-
heading towards the left path.
So what I would like to do is I would actually like to slowly approach this thing. And
Okay.
I can imagine I have to make a stealth check off that. But I would like to make a loud thunderous boom behind it even further. Towards where it came from.
Using
Oh no.
Minor-
minor illusion again. Minor just not a thunder spell. Just
Okay.
yeah, just
All right. So how close do you want to try to get to it?
I want to just move another 5 feet towards it. Not
Okay.
super close.
I would have you roll stealth.
Yes, I imagine you would. I got a 18. Wait, no, sorry. That's a 23.
I'm gonna have you also do that with disadvantage. And not because you're walking right up to it, because its head is turned away from
It's
you.
23 again. Well, I
But
mean, 23 because I
as
rolled
soon
higher.
as you step out from the from cover, the thing does turn its head back towards Cal and Curon.
Okay.
As you start to approach, and you hear behind you, ching, 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 the sounds of chainmail moving, like very carefully. Like you hear like, ching, ching.
That's definitely the sound the wind makes.
Yeah, that's I don't know, chainmail. It's chainmail. So essentially, Timber, as you're stepping forward to do this, the creature turns its head directly at you.
Okay.
Stop moving! It's like a T-Rex.
Wait. With a 23? I mean,
It's not looking at you.
right. You're right.
It doesn't see you.
Yeah.
It's looking past you. It doesn't have good vision.
Right.
It can see blobs all around it, but it hears people behind you. And it starts slithering forward to move past you.
Surprised it doesn't smell.
Yeah. Does can I
Because he's stink.
my minor illusion? Dude,
Yeah, you can do the minor illusion. Yeah, go ahead and minor illusion. The big boom noise.
Well,
Thunderbolt.
that's you for.
You're doing it about like 20 feet behind it.
Yeah, as far as I can do it.
So the creature is not stopping.
Ah, shit. Can I move out of the way with my extra movement?
Yes, you can definitely. I would say the creature moves past you. It doesn't see you at all. It literally is like at the moment, in the second, slithering past you towards the sound of Curon and Cal. Scarlet, you would have already moved closer to them, and you would see this happening behind you now. Cal, Curon, and Wiswick, you are heading towards the path.
Mm-hmm.
It is narrowing. to like a 5-foot span.
Does it continue to narrow?
It seems to narrow and stop narrowing at 5 feet.
I was hoping we could stick him in it.
How far are we from the house?
From the tower.
No, so the where we were just hiding.
You are. Let me look at my map. You are about
30 feet.
You're about 30.
All right. So Kieran is gonna cast Minor Illusion, to make the sound of what I imagine a crawling creature would most enjoy to feast upon. So, like, I don't know, like a pig squeal or like a swamp
Human
creature.
squeal.
And you're gonna do it 30 feet away from you, so essentially at the house.
So like inside of it. So like hopefully like it makes echoing noises.
Okay. And what's your spell DC?
13.
Oh, it's cocked. Still bad. The creature. So the creature's moving at this point. So Scarlet, as you're passing the burnt out town center, you hear inside the town center the echoing sound of wee, wee, wee. You're like a little freaking piglet in there, and the worm at this point moves like much faster than you thought this bulbous worm can move, as it's and you hear the mud slapping as it bursts into this town center ruin, just sending splintered wood and mud flapping everywhere as it's just like writhing through the mess of it, looking for this pig to feast on and finding nothing. For all intents and purposes, this thing is distracted now. It does not notice or care about any of you as it searches for a pig in a burnt out town center.
I think it's time to move quickly.
Timber is going to get to his party.
Yeah. Yep, you all
And then-
reconvene at the narrowing gap.
As Timber comes to join us, Kieran's gonna walk over and goes, "Sorry about leaving you like this.
Do it later.
Okay." He was gonna heal you, but
What's the marching order? As you're stealthing away, I'm assuming.
I think I was first.
Cal.
Over to a
second.
moving first.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll be in the middle.
Yeah.
Second to last.
Cal.
Yes.
I need you to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, you came to the right house. You came to the right house for a day. Yeah, it's an 18. Fuck off.
Okay. All right. So Cal, you guys are slowly moving forward, and you reach a certain point. As soon as the path narrows, you take one step into the narrowed 5-foot gap. Thorny vines shoot up out of the ground and attempt to grapple you, Cal, but you just narrowly slip back as a wall of vines comes up right where the path narrows, and you can't pass without going into the water.
How far from the worm are we at this point?
You are at this point about 45 feet from the worm. More than that, more like 60 feet from the worm.
Can I
Alright.
try and burn them?
You can attempt to, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Before she does that, can I just reveal the gem
Yes.
and say, yeah, I pull out the gem from what I got from one of the mudmen methods, and look, this probably goes into the contraption.
He says
Probably
very
goes
quietly.
into the contraption that we saw before. Maybe we might have to sneak past that thing again, but this is probably where we need to go.
he has a good point.
Are we going forward or not?
Yeah.
Right.
Are you gonna attempt to burn it?
Yeah, produce flame and kind of just like hold it to it.
Alternatively, we could sit
I
here and
back
wait
away.
for the worm to leave.
So the fire holding it up, it definitely, you see like the smallest, thinnest pieces of the vines wither for sure. But it doesn't really do enough damage to burn them down. It's just, it's not strong enough of a flame. These vines are living, wet vines, they're not going to pick up flame this easily, and they and even when it does start to wither, you find that it regenerates pretty quickly.
Okay.
And because it's just the vines just keep coming, where you burn away vines, another one, and you're getting dangerously close to it, and it could eventually grab you if you keep trying.
Okay. I'll back up.
I say we sit here for the work to leave.
What do you guys want to do? The worm is it's just all you hear is it's not even sounds of growling, because the worm doesn't growl. It just makes like clicking noises when it moves. It's literally just the sound of its mass just slapping the mud. It's really gross. But it's pretty soon gonna figure out there's no pig.
I'm gonna call for Jet. I'm gonna have him try and pick up the gem from my hand.
Okay. Yeah, he can manage that.
Okay. I give him a command to fly over to the contraption and place the gem in the thing. Yeah.
Okay.
I know that there were different slots you could put it
Yeah.
in.
There's a left slot and a right slot, and then there's the central slot. The central slot was in, and the path you were following was through the central slot.
What kind of
Alright.
gem did we get?
Sapphire, I
Okay.
think.
Wait, I thought it was amethyst. I thought sapphire was already in there. Wait.
No.
I
get a
have
red gem
sapphires.
That's what I'm thinking.
The gem that was
I-
in there was amethyst.
Yeah.
Oh.
I haven't described this gem yet.
No.
Yeah, it's just
Dude.
a gem. Fell
It's
out
a
of the
gem.
mud,
So
Batman.
it's actually
I thought it was blue, but whatever.
It's lapis lazuli. So it could
It's
be
yeah.
blue.
It's actually
lapis lazuli?
serpentine. No, it's
It's peridot.
Sorry,
it's no, it's like an amber color.
Okay.
We might even call it a topaz.
So you're gonna send
Put them together, we'll spell Del Tora. All right.
I'm gonna tell him left. I don't know if the bat is smart enough to know.
Okay. So
Glitch in
the
the
bat,
matrix.
you send the bat out. It's gonna take a little while for Jet to get there, because you guys have traversed quite a bit of track of land. Because for visual reference, the tower you're much closer to the tower than you were before. The tower is about if you were just under a mile away from the tower when you entered the swamp, the tower is like a quarter of a mile away from you. Like it's pretty visible. It's silhouette in the fog. So it's going to take a little while for Jet to get there. Is there anything you want to do in the 10 or so minutes that it takes Jet to get over there?
Lie down and cover ourselves in mud.
I stare off pensively into the distance, worried for my little friend.
Is anyone following?
Oh no, I'm not doing that.
I was hoping you were going full
Just
full
like
predator.
Yeah. Sink down into the brush, baby.
Timber's gonna find a rock or something to just in case.
Okay. I would ask everyone to make another stealth check during this 10 minutes.
Guidance.
I'd say
What is
have-
this for our
you
breath?
still have
Like, how loud we're
you have path without a trace now.
Oh.
Ooh. So what is it? +10?
Plus 10.
yeah,
Oh, that's fun.
you guys have to roll pretty low with a +10 not to get
Yeah,
this.
I rolled a 6 and still got an 18. So
'Cause funny, most of you really just narrowly were hurt by the creature. Like your rolls were not that bad, except for that nat one. But what'd you all get? Cal, you got an 18. Curon, you got
21.
Wiswick,
28.
Scarlet,
33.
Timber.
22.
All right, yeah, this thing is too busy, and you see at this point, it's about 5 minutes into this waiting that the creature barrels into the small hut that was next to the town center, hoping that the pig may have escaped into there, and it's just writhing around. It is definitely slowing down, and it looks like it is starting to lose interest.
if I spoke, would you make me do a stealth check?
No, not if you whisper quietly
Okay.
enough.
And then I turn and whisper and I go, "What do you think its name is?" Looks like a Carl to
Timber
me.
just looks at it like
Cal-
me
Cal-
and Cal.
Cal gets a little bored sometimes when his mind
Can
isn't
Kieran
stimulated.
spend this time observing the creature to maybe like just learn more about it in case? Who knows why?
I mean, you sure? Give me an insight check. For you, Wizwick, I'd
Cast
say
guidance.
I
I don't want to know.
I might have to start limiting this
Pensively
guy.
looking into the
That's fair.
distance.
I'm going to use it until I abuse it.
You mean
I
you
would
abuse it till you
I would
lose
say
it?
for this session I'll allow you, but next session I might make a ruling on that where you can't use it on yourself.
Okay, that's fair.
But
21 for that insight check.
okay, Wizwick, it takes longer than you think it would for Jet to get over there. Did you want Jet to do it stealthily?
No. I just told him to fly high.
Oh, fly high. Okay. All right. So I'm going to do. All right. So it takes longer than you would expect, but as soon as Jet is within telepathy range of you, he says that he placed the gem or he communicates to you that he placed the gem in the left socket. You did not notice any difference in the vines. He also explained that he narrowly avoided large, scary bird monsters that he almost saw him.
I want as soon as I tell him to return, and I dismiss him as soon as he gets close enough.
Okay.
But in the meantime, I relay this information, whispering it to the others.
Mm-hmm.
The gem is placed, but the vines haven't disappeared. Maybe we need all three to continue.
That sounds like a lot of work. Do you think there's a workaround?
I don't know, but there are some scary bird monsters over there, says Jet.
Oh.
Now, so
is
there
there
was
anything-
3 slots for the gems with 3 paths. With the middle one in, we could go down the middle path. Which slot did Jet put this in? The left or right?
Left.
Did the vines for him disappear? Maybe
I don't think so.
It actually goes in the right one, and then that'll work.
Yeah, but I couldn't tell him to try the other one when I was over there because he was too far away for telepathy.
Oh, sorry. Well, then
So maybe we got
Wait.
the wrong slot.
Wait, no, because we tried to fit the middle gem into the other ones and it didn't fit.
Right.
So I assumed that this gem would fit. I'm sorry, I'm in character. So I would assume that this gem would fit into the correct slot and not fit into the right one. So as Jet said, it fit in, right? It stayed there.
I think so. You didn't mention it didn't fit, so I'm assuming it went in correctly.
All right. So our options are wait for this worm, right? Or is there anything I could toss Wiswick over again? Sean,
I'm sorry, I was looking at chat. What did you say?
is there a close by landmass that I could toss my friends to again?
So give me a perception check.
That's fair. Ooh. Okay. It's a 20. Dirty.
So looking around, you actually have a pretty good view at this point. You kind of are your trained eyes are piercing through the somewhat thick fog. You notice that to your if you're facing the worm, to your right is just this very long, still pond that is beyond your vision. And the fog consumes it. The fog stops is about 50 feet away from you. It's still pond into the fog. To your left, there's a gap of about 20 feet that leads to the bottom of a hill, essentially, which you might even perceive as the beginning of Bracken Hill. But it's a good 20 feet away.
Yeah, it's
And it's steep. It's not like a flat area that you could roll onto.
That's not great. Okay. I mean, I suppose can somebody sneak back towards the worm and drive him in the other direction so we can try the right path? Maybe someone with minor illusion and is better at stealth than our friend here, pointing at you, while looking at Timber.
Hint, hint.
Also, are you healed? You were hurt pretty badly.
Yeah, I need. Kieran,
Would you like me to heal you now?
heal this. Yes.
Kieran puts his hand on
You see
Timber.
that Timber is like bruised from the methods bitch slapping him in that last fight.
And casts Cure Wounds at first level.
Okay.
Giving Timbiar. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. +4.
That's all right. Okay. And then Timber's gonna slowly approach.
Give me a stealth check.
That's pretty good. That's really good, actually. 31.
31. Wow,
Yes.
Jesus.
That's okay.
So you are sort of, I'd say even like Timber in your hybrid form, you're down on all fours, just carefully moving through the mud slowly but surely as this worm is just sort of wriggling in a circle, sending splintered wood and mud all over the place. It is close to finishing up with this smaller hut as it's just sort of shooting pieces of wood all over the place, but you are, as far as you can tell, completely unnoticed by it.
Okay. I'm going to cast Minor Illusion of the same sound that Kieran was.
Pig noise? Pig squeal?
noise. Yeah, to like, and I want to keep kind of casting it. It's just to like trail it. I don't know how to like. If you want
So
continuous rolls for stealth and whatnot, but I want to kind of just keep being at a specific distance and kind of leading it.
All right, so the
Back
worm
to
is
the
here and you're moving around it, correct? Towards
Yes.
the right path?
Correct.
And
No,
you're
we-
and you're
leading him- Sorry.
but and you're sending and you're trying to lead him back towards where he came from.
Right, isn't that? Yes.
Just checking.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna give. So I'd say on the second minor illusion, I'm gonna ask for a stealth check.
Okay.
But I'll give you the first one, which I'll say I guess is 30 feet away from you, or do you want to do it a little shorter so it's trailing?
I mean, I want to be at a distance that's always 30 feet. So, of where.
So what I
cast
mean
it.
is, if you're trying to make the sound trail off,
Yep.
you can only where you currently are. You can only make it 30 feet away.
Got it.
So you'd
Yeah,
have
so-
to start moving towards the sound that you're making. Make
Yes.
it trail off.
Yes, I would like to do that.
Okay. So then that's
Unless
why
he
I'll have
casts
you.
minor illusion on a rock and then throws the rock.
It's not a it's not a target spell.
You and your spell rules.
All right.
Magic
So
is for dumb-ass bitches anyway.
man, I am rolling like poopy tonight.
Good.
That the worm immediately, like in a very startling way, stops writhing. And seems intrigued. So give me a stealth roll. You still have pass without a trace.
Yes, it's an hour. So that's 24.
Yeah. And you're gonna cast it again.
Yep.
About another
Another
20 or so feet, 30
yeah.
feet.
Just gonna keep
All right.
doing it. Until,
Yeah, that bitch of a worm rolled in that one. He is gonna dumbly go after the sounds again, as the worm, and it just moves really fast and slithers through the mud, out back towards the way it came, away from where you all are, and you can figure out what you want to do now. You
Let's
all
go
see
defense.
you all see the worm like lightning move back towards the small channel that it came from.
Timber's gonna go back to the party.
We're gonna go I want to go investigate that right-hand path, but this time less just strolling down it and more like, are there about to be thorns? You know?
Kieran will follow close behind, trying to perceive if there's anything out of the ordinary.
Yeah, I want. Guys, remember what Jet said there's probably some more enemies up ahead where we came from, so let's try and be quiet about this whole thing.
And I do believe that there are fey guard dogs wandering the premise, so keep an eye out.
Is that a pun? What was that?
No, I just keep an eye out. And
Uh,
I pointed to my eye to let you know which.
yeah, but you did it in like a knowing
So-
way. Like, I just want to know what.
You all start to head up that path as these two quietly bicker, not to summon the worm again.
Wiswick backs off from them, thinking that they're making too much noise.
So you're heading up the right-hand path, and you want to keep an eye out for the traps, correct? Okay, so what's the marching order?
I can go first and check for traps.
That makes more sense, probably,
Okay.
if you want to
Okay.
use logic.
All right, so we got
I'll go
Scar,
second.
Cal,
Kieran will be behind, still perceiving things.
towards the back,
I wanna-
or
I guess Cal or Q would be in the middle.
I was gonna say he could be in the back and I could be in the farther back because I just don't want to be near Kieran because I noticed he's been making too much noise.
Understand.
Okay. Timber, where are you gonna be?
He's gonna be Phil, whatever, second to last. Sure.
All right. So you are heading down the right-hand path. You start heading down it, and you notice ahead of you, about 10 or so feet, maybe 15 feet, the path splits left and right again. Which way would you like to go?
Left.
Before we do, I would like to check and see if there's anything dangerous.
Give me a investigation check for the left-hand path at the right where it begins.
Does it seem like that's where the tower?
The tower is to your left. You can see the
Okay.
tower ever. It's the only thing keeping you from getting lost in the swamp.
Okay, so
So
And
left
my
would be
cartography skills.
Madness.
arguably the left would go closer to the tower. What'd you get?
15.
15. All right. So first things first, you narrowly avoid an old rusty bear trap, similar to the one that you narrowly avoided earlier. Give me a second perception check or investigation. check.
Investigation.
Yeah.
That one's better. 21.
So as you're toeing around this bear trap without triggering it, you also notice as you were about to almost step into what looks like on the ground, if you look close enough away from the low brush of the swamp, is sort of the buds of the vine walls.
Mm-hmm.
On the ground. You just see these little wriggling, almost like fingers sticking out of the ground there. You were just about to step into it, trying to avoid the bear trap, when you noticed them. So this left-hand path is also blocked by the vine wall.
Okay, I guess we're going right forever. If you go right too many times, it's just a circle, Sean.
I know. What you?
Does
Yeah.
Yeah, does this fork look familiar? Like I thought we were coming back the way we came.
No, you weren't coming back the way you came. You were going
Okay.
deeper into the other side of
The
the
swamp of sadness.
Yeah. So, what I'd say you surmise from this is that there is some kind of. You're very close to the tower. That perhaps you didn't unlock all of the vines, and that this is sort of closer to the tower. This might be. You're very close to the tower right now. These are likely the last perimeter defenses of the tower.
Perhaps we unlocked all of the right ones.
So you haven't unlocked this part, essentially. So you can go right, or you can go back. Either way, it's generally leading to the right. You could see if there's the left-hand path has opened up. It probably has.
Okay, well, it probably has. I feel that You know that first path that we went down? Or we didn't go down, we tried to go down? I bet you that's opened up.
But using a logical deduction,
No, or during sense. And I go
During-
back.
you're gonna encounter the same vine walls probably down that path, but the key might be down that path, or it might be down this right-hand path.
At least we'll get a gem back.
What would you like to do?
Let us keep going for now.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any reason to back up unless we have no options.
Let's go down the right-hand path.
All right, on our way back, we gotta stop by and get those gems, though.
Why are we taking the gems? We need the gems in the
I
thing
don't think
that
you
unlocked
can
up
take
wall.
the
I
gems.
said on the way back when we're done with all this.
You want to steal? They're probably cursed. The last time we did that, look, he still has a ring on his finger. I say, pointing to Q.
Q is so
All right,
cursed.
we'll talk about it later.
All right. So you're heading down the right-hand path.
As we're walking, I'm still going to keep an eye out for any sort of bear traps or otherwise.
Okay, Scarlett, give me a general perception check.
Perception or investigation?
Perception. The rest of you, I'm assuming you're still going to be stealthing down this path.
Yeah.
Huron's also going to be looking out around and like above to look for those scary birds Jet mentioned.
Great. Huron, give me a perception check as well.
I got a 13.
All of you give me stealth checks. And I'm assuming you're going to do the same marching order.
Mm-hmm. I'll still be first.
So give me the stealth checks first.
Oh.
Natural one.
Are we passing Saiyans Trace?
It's not still up.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's an hour.
Oh.
Well,
I'm
that's
sorry, pass without a trace. I
Scarlett,
failed
what'd you get?
For stealth?
Yeah.
13. 23.
Cal?
20.
Timber?
21.
Huron?
28.
Okay, and I know you got that nat one. Scarlett, what'd you get for perception?
13.
Q, perception?
25.
Holy shit. God damn Elysian elves.
This is what you've done.
It's what
Monster of
it's
your
what
own
I've
creation.
what I've wrought.
Right.
All right, so there are no traps that you can notice, or no signs of traps as you're approaching deeper in. You do notice that you are curving back. You notice to your left all along this, there is about 20 feet away another patch of land. It looks a lot messier than what you were jumped across before. I mean, you guys can't jump 20 feet, I think. Some of you might be able to.
I could come.
But it looks like really unpromising land. Like you could slip right through it into the swamp water. But it is there. There is more land beyond the fog to your left. Q, through the fog, you can notice with your 25, you crazy elf. What do your elf eyes see, Q?
Tell me, DM.
I'll go down the windows.
They march as if the whips of their masters are behind them.
They're taking
they are. They've taken the gem north. You do notice 100 feet in the direction you're going, in the sky, occasional figures that look like very small humanoids with very large wings. You are heading towards wherever these harpies are that you've determined. And you start to hear, before everyone else with those elf mixed lulling song.
Harpies.
Very faint in the distance.
Huron says quietly, but so that people around him can hear. Harpies up ahead. Be careful, friends.
Sean, I meant to look for the dagger that I threw before we left. It's totally cool if we want to just leave it there. I don't know if I was able to see if it was there on the way out. I
Give
just
me a
forgot to do that.
Quick investigation check, real fast.
Thank you.
Everyone else.
21.
I'm assuming for this next part of the movement forward, you want to keep stealthing.
Yeah, why not?
So everyone, give me another stealth. Pathra, Trace, still. Scarlet,
Jesus Christ.
21.
you were able to find your dagger.
Thank
It is
you.
covered in mud.
Great.
I'm glad that me falling straight on my ass did absolutely nothing.
Or
I got
did
a
it?
12.
Did it?
Or did it?
Did it?
I don't know.
You even with plus 10 from Pass Without a Trace?
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
12?
oh wait, no, yeah, plus 12 is, I mean, plus 10 is
22.
22.
Well, no.
All right, Q, what you get?
18.
Cal,
26, sir.
Oh,
Scar,
33.
Oh!
Timber,
20.
Scar. I assume you want to look for traps still.
Yes, please.
Perception check. Kieran, do you want to keep your eye out still for the
oh yeah.
perception check?
Oh, nice. 23.
23.
16.
Okay. So you guys are walking for quite a while, about 100 feet or so before, or a little less than that, before the path starts to open up. And there's actually a lot of like short marsh trees sticking out around this marsh island. Scarlet, you stop everyone. You pulled the hand up. As you approach the tree, the first tree you notice, large gnarled beast, very thick trunk. But you notice amongst the branches wires. And upon looking further, you can see just beyond the is a long plank on a hinge with some very large spikes sticking out of it. And then you notice down below a thin wire hidden amongst the brush of the swamp.
Is it close enough that I could attempt to disable it?
You would probably have to get up to the tree to disable it.
Okay.
It might be easier to have people step,
Okay.
but be aware that it's behind you if you were to try to flee back this way.
All right, so I'll turn to the group and whisper. I'm whispering, but I'm going to talk loudly so you can hear me. We need to step very carefully right here. There's something on the ground. Step over it. And you said it was above too, right? Like we could walk into it?
No. If you avoid the wire, you can. As long as you step over the wire carefully enough, you.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so we just need to step very carefully over this right here, and I'll point it out.
Radical dude.
Kieran, while she's explaining this, you do notice through the fog, amongst these gnarled trees that are all around, you can notice up in their branches are sort of these makeshift large birds' nests that also have kind of like a somewhat of a humanoid structure to them. The base of the buildings, if you can call them that, are nest-like, but they have walls sort of built in the same material. You assume these are harpy dens, harpy roosts. And you can hear, at this point, you can all, like 50 feet in, you can hear occasional.
Guys, what if we're supposed to fight these things? I mean, the mud methods had one of the gems that we needed.
Yes, I see your point. If they're doing traps like these, though, we had better watch out. I think that last one was a... Wait, did we pass it already? We haven't passed it already.
No, you haven't passed it yet. You're
I think this is a tiger trap, is what they call it. My master used to speak of them of his time fighting the Scythian secessionists.
Your tailoring master.
Well, he wasn't always a tailor, was he?
That's fair.
Your tailoring master fought in the Scythian rebellion.
How high up is this wire? Do I have to like long jump or something?
It would probably be better if someone lifted you over it.
I would like to grab him by the scruff of the neck and lift him over.
Yeah, because it's definitely like...
When he does that, I slap him from the scruff of my neck, and I say, "Come on,
I would
man!"
The wire
Pick
is
up like a
taller-
baby. What are you doing?
The wire is taller than your legs, so you would either have to crawl under it or be picked up over it.
Have some respect.
Crawling under it more dangerous. Although I guess Wiswick, if you crawled under it and triggered, it would just it would hit
Anyone
you.
that's trying to get over it.
Yeah, hits anyone standing there waiting for you. Easy enough because you identify it. You can all get over it. As you enter into this sort of opening warren, you can start to see a little bit more. And what you see is above you. You can all see shapes in the fog above. Occasionally, in the trees, you can see these really disfigured looking creatures. They have very sharp features on their faces. Their heads are kind of like, the nose comes out, but like it doesn't come in and up to the head. It comes completely back into these plume of feathers that stick back. And they're these dark gray feathers. They're very much, the plumage of these creatures is very pigeon-like New York City pigeon-like. They have massive wings though, compared to how small their bodies are. If they were to just stand like normal person, they would probably only be like 4'5". But their wingspan is very large. And when they're perched in the trees, their wings are wrapped around, and they just look sort of like little. They look like large birds, but when they unfurl, you can see the long, sharp talons and the features of the heartbeat. What would you like to do?
Timber's gonna just kind of walk up to Kieran and. Do you have silence?
I'd like to get a heartbeat count.
Give me a perception check.
I think I switched that out for Shield of Faith.
Love having a cleric in the team who has to change their spells every morning, or can change their spells every morning.
8 of the teens,
Okay, so
or a 16 plus 2.
you notice this space is rather large, and you could really only see about half of the Harpy village, so to speak. In the sky, it's hard to count how many there are, because they're whipping in and out of the fog, so you don't know if you counted the same one twice, and so on. In the trees themselves, you can count at least, from where you're seeing now, at least 2 harpies that are in the branches themselves. You don't know if there's any inside the buildings, and you're unsure how many are above. You started counting them, and you got to 5, but you realize it could be any number because they're going in and out of the fog. You do notice that there's on the left and right, there are these harpy roosts in the trees, but you can sort of see gnarled a much larger roost that's to the, I pointed to the left, but it's to your right. It's sort of, you can tell the trees kind of gnarl all together, where the trees might be individual, but the nest has been built amongst them, centering around, which you imagine is probably the central roost of this harpy village.
Can I see anything? Can somebody with better perception than me see anything shiny in that roost?
I was gonna say, Kieran is looking for anything that might bring us to the gem.
Give me a perception check.
Maybe I don't wanna.
Do you guys want to step a little closer?
Kieran would be walking forward, looking around, like trying to be like, "What's going on around here?"
I still have my eyes open for traps.
20, you said?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, amongst this woven den, you can glimmer a lot of shiny things. Towards the base of the tree line, or these sort of gnarled swamp trees, there's quite a few glimmers. as if there might be piles of metallic things or gems or shiny things at the base of these trees. So you do there are shiny things near this.
Kieran's gonna head to the closest pile of shiny things.
Well, it's pretty far from you right now because you guys
How
haven't
far?
gone to. I'd say it's about 60 feet away from you right now.
Okay. And
So,
this is pretty much just like open field-ish.
I'd say right now you guys are in the like 10 to 15 feet of brush that's at the beginning of this, and then any further in, and it's cleared. It sort of looks like the center of a village where like the brush is cleared each day, and there's sort of like a burnt out fire pit in the middle, where there's no fire there, but it looks like there's a central sort of what would be a hearth somewhat to them, but is probably much more rudimentary. You can see occasional glimmers of what probably slight torchlight. And then you can see just the silhouette of this mass of... it's just out of your vision. If you move 10 or 15 feet closer, you'd be able to see it clearly. Because which you would be entering into the exposed area.
Why didn't we just introduce ourselves? They clearly have mastery over fire and live in societies. I mean, we should get along, right?
Not if we.
Don't believe
Our
Harpy's
objective is to take their gems.
Our intent is to negotiate for the gems. There's a difference.
Okay, Kyle, why don't you go up and say hi?
Okay. He stands up and doesn't do that because he's not a fucking idiot, Wiswick.
So, what would you like to do? I'd say in your current periphery, there's you have about 5 more feet of brush. On the sides of the island, there is still brush. You could maintain some stealth on the sides.
Let's send our stealth folks around the
Like
side.
if you look at it, it's like an eye shape. This whole island, you can only see about half of it. And the center is clear to. You are walking under trees, though, which above you are harpies. If you get deeper in, or at least harpy roosts, you're about 40 feet away from the first harpy in a tree that's seems to be keeping watch. And then across the island is another harpy that you can see that's keeping watch, or Kalsaw.
Yes, go ahead.
Hold on.
Just
Hold
the
on.
man of the hour who entered into the chat.
Hold
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Brent just got here.
Oh.
Yes. Right.
You know what that
Three.
means.
Yep. On 3.
Happy birthday, Brett.
You ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Happy birthday
to you.
Party too. Hey,
Great reference, Stefan.
thank you.
Are we gonna try to do it again or no?
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy
birthday
birthday to Brent.
Brent, it's your birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Yes, birthday.
Happy birthday, Brett.
Yay,
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Brett!
Happy birthday, Brett.
Don't die.
Brent.
Yeah, stop dying. Don't die. Don't die. We need
Please
you.
don't die.
Anyway.
Anyway.
That was his minute of fame. Back to the show.
All right.
He's got
So-
a podcast. He's famous.
You're wandering the swamps. You wandered into this harpy den. You identified 2 harpies in the trees. Watch. There's a larger den about 60 feet away on the right side. You can't count how many are in the sky. What would you like to do? You see that there are shiny things over by the main den.
I had just turned to Timber, who was about to say something.
What are you doing, Cal?
I wasn't doing anything. You cleared your throat like you had something to say.
You stood up.
No, I didn't stand up. It's fine. So I think we have two options here. Either we go in, crossbows blazing, or we send our stealthy friends, pointing to Scarlet and Timber, around the side through the brush and up to the back of the gems, the shiny piles, to see if there's anything in it with it. So we have two options as far as I see, or leave. Third option, leave. You know, a lot of voices of neither dissent nor assent. I love it.
I'm just gonna start walking.
But while she's leaving, Kieran's gonna give her a little touch and give her some guidance.
Thanks.
Suddenly you
That's,
feel
D4, right?
Yes.
feel quite bright.
As
if you just ate.
Timber's gonna look back and say, "Don't move."
Kieran's
To
gonna
Scarlet?
move a little bit.
No,
just
not to Scarlet. To the
everyone
rest of
else.
the party. To everybody else.
All right, Scarlet.
And then
so you're
and then
still
walk
up
with
the right
Scarlet.
side?
Yeah. No, I'll go left.
Well, the right is towards the den and the shiny.
Okay, never mind. I'll go right.
All right.
There's yeah.
Scarlet gave me a stealth check.
with guidance.
Guidance.
And-
Oh, thank God.
And path without trace, because I'm.
Oh,
with her.
good. All of these things.
Is it path or pass?
Pass?
Path. without trace.
P-A-S-S.
Path.
T.
Pass.
Oh, I see what they're doing. They're making fun of people with lisps.
What did you get, Scarlet?
Still adding math. 28.
Okay. So for 30 feet, you have 28. So I'll say that's the first part.
Timber was going with her.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
Timber,
we're
you going
going.
with her?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought that I didn't know.
No.
that. All right,
I looked back. I said, everybody else stay here,
I see.
and then I went
Sorry,
with her.
Sorry. Timber, give me that stealth check too.
While he's doing that, Cal has his crossbow out and he's covering.
That's a natural 19. I'm not
Sorry,
gonna add
I
it.
look up. I need to move away my worm stat.
Kieran, guidance is just a one-time thing, right?
Yes.
Okay.
How the hell do harpies have less passive perception than this fucking worm?
Because it's got feelers.
All right. Okay.
I got a natural 19. I'm not gonna.
Natural
add it.
19 and Scarlet, you got 28.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it could if you want me to.
I
That's
need-
30 something, right?
34.
I need you both to make wisdom saving throws. As something enters your ears.
I am not good at these.
It's 16.
16.
Wait, you got a 16 too?
I did.
All right. So you pause for a moment as this very beautiful song plays in your ears. It's sad but happy at the same time, lilting, and for a moment you almost stand up and walk into the center of the village, but you shake your head. As you look up and you see above you is that first harpy. And its form is still hideous. But its head is billowed upward and you just hear it echoing out, undulating out. Oh, beautiful voice. But you resist it.
Sure, that was one of the funniest things we've ever done. You went, beautiful voice.
Beautiful, guys. I like that. I'm sorry, I can't sing like a harpy.
Hey, you're great. No, you're great. Keep it up.
And I don't have harpy prepared on my soundboard.
Fair.
Just play some Enya.
Just do a
Oh,
hawk
I was
sound.
gonna say Little Mermaid.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I don't have anything in here that's harpy like. Anyway. Other than growls, yeah.
Can Timber's gonna take his scarf out and try to wrap it around his face and try to just
Okay.
Ooh, that's a good
muffle
call.
the sound.
Can I see him doing that?
Yeah, he's right next to you.
Cool. I'm gonna copy him.
All right.
Copy.
You guys are good with using your scarves to like contain your DC, like your saving throws. Anyway,
I was just gonna scream as loud as I could.
so you didn't hear it?
Yeah.
Just screaming. That's actually what the harpy sounds like. All right. So you are within 30. Now you are within 30 feet of the central den. You can see it somewhat clearer now. From the brush, it's hard to see. You might have to get closer or use a perception check to see deeper. But you see, there are 2 harpies at the den itself, and they're just sort of like they're kind of walking like velociraptors, and they're just they're just in this general area.
Should I stealth kill them, guys?
It's strange because they've got these humanoid faces, but their mouths don't have lips. They have they don't have beaks either. It's almost like where there's lips coming up is the same material of a beak that kind of comes. It's sort of like an owl's beak, but like flattened. It's really gross looking. So
it's just like a bunch of hard cartilage.
Yeah, their jaw essentially is hard cartilage.
I think that was a joke on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
That kind of comes down as a beak, but it's flattened. There's still the overbite of, say, like a hooked beak, but it's very flat. And there's no nose, like a humanoid nose. There's just sort of Voldemort.
Got it.
So it's this real gross hybrid form. Not to say that Timber is gross.
You're not gross, Timber.
You're disgusting.
I've actually been a little grossed out this whole time. But he seems like,
No.
But excellent. What would you like to do at this point? So you can see that there are 2 harpies in the general area of the treasure piles.
Timber would like to, as he's stealthing, look for like a rock.
Give me an investigation check.
Sure.
Should I stealth kill him?
Oh, that was
Timber?
a nat 20. Nat 20 for the rock.
I would say, Scarlet, this is not in your experience. This is not an opportune moment to stealth kill.
Yeah,
because
I was totally kidding.
I know you're kidding, but you know that there are harpies watching above.
Okay.
I got a nat 20 for the rock.
You find just like you
That's
have
what
to
you get a nat 20 on?
you Timber, you just scoop up some, and it just, as it seeps through between your fingers, there's just this absolutely perfectly round rock in your palm. It's like you almost don't want to throw it because it's such a beautiful, perfect rock. It's just such a perfect. It fits perfectly in your palm. It's smooth. It's just the best. But you find a rock.
As we near the edge of the brush in which we are stealthing in, I would like to toss it beyond.
Okay. So,
but this is not going to happen just yet. I will be doing this, but.
So what? Okay, so I'll just describe the edge that you're going along. It's curving. That's the way you're going, and it's going to curve towards the central den. When it gets to the den, there's no more path. It's just the trees of the den overcomes the edge of the swamp, so you can't move past it. So if you were to throw the rock away from the den, it would be towards you essentially, because you're throwing it past you and from their perspective.
Wait,
you could try to throw it backwards. Or beyond, I guess, if you wanted to try to like
right.
Get it. You know what I mean. You could throw the rock beyond, but you're risking. It's
a lower DC.
You have to do a
DC.
Exactly.
Okay.
So many good skipping on a lake with that thing lying head gaming.
Yeah. That's what it is exactly. Like, imagine you're on the beach and you find the absolute perfect skipping stone. Like, that thing's gonna have like 20 skips.
Oh, so I have an additional like a +5 to my roll.
No.
Damn it!
It's not a magic stone.
Damn it!
So it's a +2.
All right, what are you guys doing?
I'm just watching him and seeing what he's doing.
He hasn't climbed anything yet, right?
No, they're both crouched down in the brush right now, deciding what to do. Kimber has found a beautiful rock, and they haven't done anything yet.
I'm trying to communicate things to Kieran with my eyes.
Kieran looks questioningly.
Nah. So
Insight to see what he's saying.
if I threw a rock, just upwards, would it be visible through the brush, or of what the harpies are seeing?
So the rock might not be visible necessarily.
But the sound probably would.
The one across might see it. If it goes high enough and hits anything. So like there's branches above you.
Okay.
So
No.
So if it bounces off of the tree branches, it's just gonna alert them that there's someone in this area.
Can I? Okay. All right. So how far away is
the central den?
The opposite side of the central den.
Oh, the opposite side is about 40 50 feet away from you.
And if I were to stealth from tree to tree, like around the den, how does it look doable?
Yes.
Okay. Hey.
It does.
Oh, what happened?
Oh, we just lose Shannon.
Hold for a moment while Shannon comes back.
Good. Maybe we lost to Shannon and gained an arm. You can
Nice.
see
My back.
Sean's hand.
Oh, that's
So
Unless he's got painted fingernails.
Shannon, you just gotta turn your camera back
Yep.
on once you.
Better?
Yeah. There you go.
yes.
Alright.
The stream could not handle the perfect rock.
The stream could not handle that. That's right.
So the den is about 30 feet away from you. There is still like tree line and brush leading up to the den.
Okay.
that you could stealth up to it.
I'm gonna look at Scarlet and be like, when the harpies are distracted, sneak up, grab what you need, and get out. Come back. And I get in position. And then I proceed to go around the trees.
Okay. Give me a
Rock
stealth
in
check.
hand. Sorry.
Cocking.
I mean, whatever. I got. I actually have to add this. Damn it. 24.
Whew.
Alex, did you bring us back in video feed?
Oh no, I did not. I'm sorry. Thank you, Tim.
Could they hear us?
Yeah, they can hear us. I just.
Okay. All right. So, as far as you know, no harpies have noticed you, and you're getting closer now, and you're reaching the point where there's just too much tree for you to pass. You're close enough where you can see the two harpies kind of. And you hear again, you see one of them just, their throat starts to undulate and the beautiful sound comes out.
Wisdom.
Yep.
Me
Do
too.
I get advantage?
Yep. No, neither of you get advantage.
Damn it! Why not? Well, it's kind of okay, I guess. I probably failed it. 14?
What? Shannon?
18.
You, for a moment,
this-
you're...
Sorry, go ahead.
For a moment, it's a similar feeling of overcoming you where you forget what you're doing for a moment. But you shake it off.
Okay, good.
You notice at this point, being this close, that between these two harpies is a little pedestal. Just looks like they themselves found a perfect rock, but a large rock.
Damn it!
That they've centered in front of this, and sitting in the center of it, you see a bright red gem.
I wish I had darkness.
Could I ask?
Yes.
Are we watching all of this, like from the sidelines?
You can't see that far because of the fog. So essentially, you were keeping an eye on them, and they disappeared about 50 feet away from you.
Okay, I'm just wondering if we could have realized any of the effects of the calling of the birds distance.
What do you mean? Realize the effects? Like understand what it's doing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No. By this point, you could surmise that it's a taunting, seductive call, trying to.
Perhaps a siren call.
Yeah. You realize it's a charming, some sort of charming effect.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and stuff my ears with some sort of like cotton
Stuffing.
or whatever. Yeah, stuff sleep lint from my belly button. I don't care.
Okay. All right, Timber.
I would like to.
Snatch that gem.
I'm gonna make like a.
Snatch that.
Snatch that gem.
Are they looking in like All right, two questions.
Yeah.
Are they patrolling in any sort of like consistent manner, like a video game? Sorry.
You suddenly notice that the first one has a yellow exclamation point above it.
Hitting the cardboard box.
Snatch
Snatch the gem and replace it with the perfect rock.
No, that's a perfect rock.
Indiana Jones it.
These two don't look like they're in a particular patrol. They're just sort of in this small alcove. Because it's sort of like a little like U that comes off of the island where it's surrounded by tree. So it's kind of it's almost like a courtyard to this large circular woven den above them. That you actually can hear inside that den little chirps, little baby harpy chirps.
Oh, baby heart.
Kill them all.
Are they at all? Are they always looking at the den? Do they always look like they're just staring at the rock or the gem? Sorry.
It kind of they're sort of moving back and forth, not in a particular pattern, between kind of looking out and then like turning back and looking at the den. Okay. So they're keeping an eye outward and occasionally looking back at the den. And then occasionally looking up towards the sky.
What I would like to do is.
Thank you for the
Hey,
help.
Yeah, just adding a little more.
Can I, through the tree brush up above, I would like to cast minor illusion of a really crappy bird call.
So 30 feet above.
Actually, no, not a bird call. What am I doing? Like trees breaking, like branches just breaking.
Okay. All right. So minor illusion, about 30 feet above you,
30, yeah,
or like
30 feet, like above and just like
a little ways in.
Yeah.
So about 5 feet forward, 25, like 25 feet up, kind of thing. All right.
As soon as I realize that they're distracted enough, I want to go for the gem.
So you're holding a dash to the gem, essentially?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm readying my bow still.
First
The
one.
cross ready.
All right.
You have a
So
bow?
I have a crossbow, brother.
when you do this, one of the two sort of notice their wings are like curled. And they're just, and you just see, and it shoots out at like a 10-foot wingspan, and then and it flings itself up really fucking fast into the tree. The other one is not moved. The other one's like,
how much trees are? How depth?
yeah. So this little alcove itself, you can think of it as a half circle that has like a 20-foot diameter. So it's pretty wide. The trees arc up to the den in the center back of this half circle.
Okay.
They start at like sort of like short little stubby trees up to the top tree and the cluster of trees up there, which is probably about 30 feet high.
For my second illusion, I'm going to make it sound like a bird screeching in pain, as if the other one is screeching in pain.
So you're going to try to mimic a harpy screeching
In pain, yes.
All right, I'm going to ask you to actually give me a performance check for this one.
Okay.
to imitate your best. I mean, the idea is like you're spell-wise creating this sound, but you have to like.
It's a 19. It's a 19.
Oh, okay. All right. Good. All right, so I'll do a. And then the other one. Okay. The bird that's in the trees, that's like sort of snapping and looking around, so it suddenly goes very confused. The other bird looks up, but seeing the other bird not in danger, doesn't do anything.
Oh, so it had vision of him. Okay.
I speak great harpy.
I'm going to make the same. Try to make another sound of the babies screeching in pain.
Oh.
Okay.
Do it.
Give me a perception check.
Oh, you threatening.
Damn it. Well, okay. I just rolled a performance check. But,
Wait, what did I say? I said perception, I meant performance.
Okay, all right, 16.
So suddenly, all of you, I guess, or no, only Scarlet would hear this. You suddenly hear like the chirps you were hearing before. You suddenly hear just sort of like.
Oh.
Yes, we're killing the DM.
Oh gosh, 5
Good.
points of thunder damage to me. Okay.
I go.
All right. Do you want to attempt stealth,
You have path without trees.
or are you trying to go as fast as
if
possible?
I don't know how much time I have. So I'm
There
going as
are
fast as
still
possible.
2 harpies watching above.
Fast.
Fast, no stealth.
Fast. Yep.
I shoot the left one in the head.
Are you there?
Really?
No,
I have a
he's
shot
not.
on him.
but Cal, you can't see this
No.
happening.
I can see into the thing. I can. For sure.
I would say if Cal's keeping an eye, Cal, give me a quick perception check.
Well, then maybe I'll just hold an action. Ass.
It's up
Not
to
you,
you.
Sean. You're
'cause,
not
I
the
mean, you would
You're
know
not
that
the
there's
Sean.
commotion
Sean.
happening.
Sean, you're not the ass.
I would say that you guys do sort of see the movement of silhouettes. You can't make
Oh.
out exactly. You would see a bird, and then you would
I
see a
thought we
bird.
could. Yeah, I thought we could see into the courtyard, like the empty space.
You can. The space where this den is very silhouette-y because of the fog. So you can, but you do see the two. You do see their movements,
All right,
and your
then
friends
I
have been
won't-
gone.
I won't fire. I'm just gonna put my crossbow sights on the guy in the left tree.
Okay. So if is the trigger if he heads towards the
Yeah.
area? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone else on the SEAL team
Chiron,
too?
seeing this, would get his crossbow out, cock it, look at Cal, give him a little vigilant blessing, and then just look and hunker down.
All right, Scarlet, you're running in as fast as
Mhm.
possible.
How do we
Fast
light
as
up a sink
possible.
shot here?
I don't think Q's really reliable in that regard.
I'm gonna roll some perception checks
For me?
for Scarlet,
Oh.
the one running into the middle of. Well, not the middle. You're slightly obfuscated.
Hey, no big words, please. We have children.
What?
I don't know, dude. Don't.
Okay. Scarlet,
Mhm.
you run up. You get your as far as you know, you think no one has seen you. And you get to the pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
You see the red gem.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
Swipe for it.
Swiping or swiping?
Are you going to run away or are you going to stealth away?
Stealth away.
Yeah.
Give me a stealth check with disadvantage.
+10, +10.
+10, +10.
Is it still +10?
Yes.
Technically, yes, because I described the diameter of this courtyard.
Yes, you
and
did,
he's-
and I made you keep doing it.
Good. So that is a 31.
Oh.
All right, so this is where I need everyone to make a choice. The harpy on the right in the trees does not move. He's quite dumb. He rolled a nat 1. You actually, if anyone's looking at him, you see he just sort of turns to the tree and starts like gnawing on the bark, ripping it off, and then you see him like grab like a termite mite out of there and but then for those of you over at the gap, you see on the right though and it darts towards the den. Scarlet, you tumble into the brush. As far as you know, as this creature is heading towards you, it doesn't see you exactly. It saw you run across, and it saw something happen over there.
Okay.
Do you want to shoot at that thing? Because I think you would.
I think he would too. I mean, he specifically said he readies his crossbow to shoot at it if it moves. It's almost like
I'd like you both to give me attack rolls.
I was about to say I wasn't going to shoot because the image of a half-elf woman with scars on her face flashes through my brain.
I will say, Cal does not shoot because he was watching the right one.
No, I was watching the left one. To be fair. Sorry.
Okay.
And he didn't ready his crossbow to fire. He just was... He had it out.
What did you say when you prepared your crossbow, Kieran?
oh, he just had it out, and I gave vigilant blessing to Cal.
Correct.
I was
Okay.
Cal,
Okay.
Kieran is not prepared to shoot.
Cal.
He was
anything.
looking around.
Cal, I will ask you to give me a wisdom saving throw.
All right.
If you succeed on this, you are shooting at this bird. If you fail it, you are pausing in a panic.
That's 20, motherfucker. Get at me, you fucking piece of shit. I'm the best. I'm sorry. It's a nat 20.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't hear what he
You
said.
don't want to succeed.
Did you,
don't
did you
want to
listen to the
succeed.
words that came out
No,
of the
I
DM's
really
mouth?
do. I listened.
I said if you succeed, you shoot the bird.
All right. Well, I succeeded critically, which means I fail because I want to fail.
No, that means that you'll get a. All right, you shoot the
You
bird
get a crit?
because you overcome your PTSD in this
Oh,
moment.
Can I get the crate just headshot it so everyone else doesn't even see it? Just,
I'll
just run.
actually, for the sake of things, because you had it ready, I'll actually let you crit this on your
All right.
attack. I'll let you auto hit it and crit because you had it ready because you rolled that nat 20, and I like rewarding nat 20s.
Thank you.
So go ahead and roll damage for your crossbow on this bird.
It's a 8. It's a 7. It's a 9. I can math. 9.
Nine is
Nine.
what is the roll? What's the roll?
Yes, 9 is the roll. 9 damage.
Okay, so that's 18
Yeah.
plus your dex modifier.
No, sorry.
What'd
it
you
was
roll
7
on the
plus
dice?
2.
Okay, so 14, so 16 damage total.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Ugh, getting a little giddy there.
Did you listen to the words? No, I didn't. I got excited about 20.
So Scarlet,
Yes.
when you tumble into the brush, you see a harpy descend upon. Halfway through the air, you see it. An arrow hits it right in the side of its chest as it tumbles to the ground, and it is half alive. It is hurt, but it's alive as it's It doesn't see you. It knows it was shot from the north. None of the harpies see you yet, any of you, because the other sentry rolled a nat 1 on its perception check.
I say we try and stealth away.
But these harpies are on high alert now.
Yep.
There's one in the trees who is confused as fuck, and then he turns and looks and sees one of their pack mates on the ground, and the other one is confused inside, looking for what its dying chicks. They are very close to just all out coming out and searching the area. They're about to. Scarlet, you actually see the one on the ground in front of you, sticks its head up, opens its mouth, and is about and lets out a long wailing screech.
Wait, about to or is? Okay.
Is, because it takes 2 seconds to do that. It's alerting others that it's in danger. What are you guys doing?
We've awoken the hive.
We stealth away.
Is that Peter Dinklage?
What's happening? Do they know we're caught?
Scarlet, Timber, what are you doing? The rest of you saw the bird go down to the ground. It's all you saw, and then you heard a blood-curdling screech from that bird.
I would
Stealth
dive
away.
into like.
Yeah, we're stealthing back. We're not running
Cover.
back. We're stealthing back.
Yep.
All right, Scarlet and Timber, give me stealth checks. The three of you, what are you doing?
Hiding in the brush.
Yeah.
Possible, like out, but like
Beautiful.
going prone, trying to really get in
We
there.
still have +10, right?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Thank God.
Yeah, I'm hiding too.
22.
The three of you, give me stealth checks.
Are we too far from Timber?
Yeah, you definitely
you
don't
are.
get the 10.
I figured.
Timber and Scarlet, what'd you get?
I got a nat 20. I'm not gonna.
Nice. I got a 22.
All right, so you two are slowly but surely moving your way back. No, as far as you know, none of these harpies are seeing you. Three of you, what'd you get? Q, what'd you get?
10.
15.
15, and Cal?
Can.
Oh, I need to teach you guys a few things about stealthing.
We're wearing chainmail.
Yeah, what's your first problem?
Yeah.
Lesson number 1.
This is
Just
the
barely.
roll for that one harpy who was enjoying his grub.
The dumb one.
The dumb one. If he rolls higher than a 10, he's coming for you.
Do it.
I'm gonna use
Do it,
different
Cal.
dice.
Do it. Keep concentrating, Tim. Keep concentrating. You
Affect
can...
the die. Know the die. Stop the die. Ah, you.
Magic.
Good job. Good
I
job,
thought you
Tim.
didn't like
That's
magic.
him.
Tim, I'd like to
force
know
is different.
what sort of voodoo you use. What
It's
if
actually
you
in
are
the blood.
you
It's
are
in
a
the blood.
Jedi? As our resident non-magic user,
All
You-
roads
getting
have that.
Yeah, yeah. just-
lovely natural 1 on this
Literally
freaking
what I was
bird.
thinking in my head. One.
Awesome.
You should see Tim at the casino. Sorry.
So the bird, the harpy in the tree, they don't think to search the perimeter. You see, as soon as the screech happens and you start to try to hide, they dart towards the den to help at the den. They think there's trouble at the den. They don't think to search around. And you see, and it darts towards the den. The rolls are in your favor tonight as you slowly see Timber and Scarlet approach you, as you notice above you harpies starting to descend down. What are you doing?
Go, 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 go. It's still
Stealthing
stealthing still. Yeah.
Stealth away.
Stealth away.
Careful of that tripwire.
Yes,
We
yes,
walked
good
over.
call.
And the bear
Yes.
trap.
Yes, yes.
I think the bear trap was further back.
We're careful of it still.
Yeah,
I'll go.
Careful of everything.
I'll go first because I remember where they are. I'm assuming I remember where they are.
this
do,
time
you do,
while
yeah.
leaning up next to Kieran, going, do you have darkness?
I do have that.
Okay, good, 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 good.
I would say this is the last bout of Pass Without a Trace, where you still get Pass Without a Trace.
That's fair.
Unless you recast it.
I can't.
Okay. So this is the last time you'll get past without a trace. Everyone roll me stealth checks to stealth away. As you notice now, above in the clouds, there were definitely 5 harpies circling above. 5,000 harpies circling above.
A tornado of harpies appears.
Pretty much, it's harpy-nado is
that
going on
is
above
that
you.
is that the proper word for a group of harpies?
It's flock, and then multiple flocks
So
becomes a NATO.
I'd say harpies are a murder. A murder of
Okay.
harpies.
The murder of harpies, multiple
Okay.
murders is a NATO, I think would be then.
A NATO of harpies.
Harpinado?
Slaughter.
What did you get in your stealth check?
Sorry, an unnatural
22.
20.
Dirty 20, 22.
Actually, hang on, I didn't roll a disadvantage. Sorry.
14.
With
Still not
disadvantage?
bad.
Yes.
22 with disadvantage.
Scarlet?
36.
Jesus. All right. They're distracted by their injured comrade who's squalling into the deep, and it's echoing through the swamps. But they're distracted by the over at the den, and you successfully stole the last gem from the harpies as you head back towards the Mephit village that you were in before.
I make sure
Okay.
I pocket my rock that I found.
I say
All
let's
right.
head.
Timber, you can put in your inventory 1 special rock.
I suppose we should head all the way back to that statue, right? And put this gem in, and
Yes, I believe with all the gems.
or can we send Jet? Do you think Jet could do it?
I make Jet appear again, and I say, I don't know if he's up for it. In fact, I'm not sure if it's particularly safe now that the harpies are on alert. Maybe we should, maybe just one of us should go back. It's a little safer. I mean, I don't know.
So my mother always used to read to me a story called Scooby Doo, and splitting up never worked for them. So I say we stick together and just head back as a.
I agree.
That sounds like a good plan.
The Undurian tale is scribbly do.
Sorry. You're totally right. It's Scribbly Doo.
It's about a particularly precocious blinkhound.
And his gang of meddling teenagers.
This gang of rebellious Undurian children who have smoked too much Gwyn weed.
Gwynweed. I'm writing this down.
Shit, it's lore.
Everything I say is.
There's this terrible habit happening where I'm letting Tim dictate all the Undurian culture lore.
Got fucking rainbow streets now.
Right?
Someone's got to do it.
All right. What's your plan? Who are you sending back? Are you sending back anyone? What's going on? You are, I'd say at this point, you've reached the edge of the Mephit village. And you're sort of safely far from the harpies, but you wouldn't be surprised if they start sending harpies out to look for whatever disturbed the nest.
Since
I
I
say
still. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Scar.
I still have the gem. I'm just gonna start walking back towards where it is. I don't care if they follow me or not.
Well, I care, and I follow.
Okay, fine.
So you walk about 120 feet and reach the edge of the water where there's the 10-foot jump.
Cool.
And you see
Okay.
wispy lights under the water.
Is it possible to stealthy jump?
Okay, guys, I take it back. Let's get Jet to do it.
You can't stealth the jump, but you gauge from your experience thus far, disturbing the water is what disturbs
Okay.
what's underneath it.
The
Cool.
watcher under the water.
I don't want to be thrown again.
You do notice. You do
Too bad.
notice about
Cal, grab one arm.
50 or so, 60 or so feet into the pond of water. You just see the water,
Ugh. Okay.
like the top of the water, just sort of moving about.
So was that comment about Jet serious? Can we just send him?
Yep. I summon Jet.
Do you want Jet to stealth back?
Sure. I mean, I don't know. It's probably going to be difficult because he's got a big old gem in his hands.
It'll be difficult for sure. He's gonna have to do a
Did you follow us?
disadvantage.
Did you
I just
follow?
tell him to
Do
be careful.
But did
Yeah,
is he
everyone
close so I can,
Yeah.
oh, okay, so I can give him the gem.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I hand the gem off.
Yeah, everyone chased after Scarlet. and met up with her as she stopped
When-
before the edge and saw all the. Creatures
Kieran's gonna
beneath.
give Jet a little guidance to find his way.
Okay, so disadvantage on stealth for him?
Yep.
Is that what we're doing?
Disadvantage stealth roll, and you get an extra 1d4 of a roll.
Okay, he doesn't. He has a plus
Oh, nice.
natural 1.
Oh, you fucking dropped that in the water. I'm gonna be so pissed.
Well, it's stealth. It's not actually.
Oh.
Yeah, it could possibly happen.
I worked really hard to get that.
Jet
Wait.
rolled a natural 1.
Yeah,
Oh.
at disadvantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. All right. So Jet flies off. Jet flies past your vision of him. 1 minute. 3 minutes.
Well, he's dead.
5 minutes. 10 minutes. 12 minutes.
Go- Guys, I really think he's dead.
During this whole
Should we?
all these minutes,
You're
can I
serious.
be meditating?
Yeah, I'll let you meditate.
Thanks.
I would say you do about 15 minutes in, Wiswick, get
Okay.
a sensation of Jet died. Jet was killed by something.
My bat is dead, guys.
Oh, let's send
we're
the
gonna-
dead back.
You should have just let me take it.
The gem. What are we gonna do?
I want to jump across and go start looking for it.
Give me acrobatics check.
Ooh,
I'll-
good at those.
Toss Wiswick.
No.
15.
I'm gonna grab him by an arm and a leg and shot put him. No, not shot put him. Discus? Is it? What's the one you spin?
The spin around.
Yeah.
And Wiswick tumbles across as Scarlet lands right next to him successfully.
I'll jump after.
Everyone who wants to jump over, give me acrobatics check.
I wanna help assist Kieran in or push him.
I was gonna say Kieran.
Sort of give him a lift.
Give him a lift, like just kind of like give him a
Stand
little
at the
boost as he jumps.
and be like.
All right, Kieran, I'll give you advantage on that acrobatics check.
Thank goodness.
And then I'll just jump across after him.
All right, Cal, what'd you get?
You're still
Oh, I was
muted.
muted. Sorry. I only got like a 13.
No, that's fine. You got over.
Oh, okay.
18.
You get over. Timber,
16.
everyone gets over, and you can head back towards the warding stone.
Yeah, I took off immediately, and I'm still looking for the gem stealthily, though.
All right, stealthily still.
Mm-hmm.
All right, give me a stealth roll.
I think.
No more pass
No.
without a trace, right?
No more pass without trace.
I think it's past the time of
His
stealth.
business.
I'm just concerned that they'll bring it back to the nest. We've got to
I got
hurry.
12.
Kieran isn't.
What are you all
stealthing,
doing? Is
but
anyone not
he's-
stealthing?
I'm not.
Kieran is not stealthing, and he's just like scanning for the stone.
All right.
Right.
Scarlet, you start stealthing towards the warding pillar. Everyone walks past you. They were like, it's like in Infinity War when Star-Lord is like, all right, you go left, you go right, and then everyone starts walking past.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys get to the central area where the stone is, and you see there one on top, claws on the stone, like matching those scratch marks you saw earlier, is a harpy. And you see next to it another one on the ground, probably just fallen down and tried to bring Jet to the ground to eat him. But he vanished as soon as it dug its flat beak into it. But in the mud in front of it is the red ruby gem, and there's two of them there, and they both go looking right at you. And I need everyone to roll initiative.
Ah!
Cal, you still have advantage from Vigilant Blessing.
Oh, lovely. Thank you. Yes. That's good. That's a good thing. I had that.
We're in a theater of the mind this because it's just a 20-foot radius. So
That's fair.
all right, 20 to 25.
Me. Cal.
What'd you get?
I got a 20.
Okay. 15 to 20.
18.
Okay. Timber, what's your dexterity modifier?
It is +3.
Okay.
I assume I have the same roll as a harpy.
10 to 15.
14.
14.
Which one of you wants to go first?
What's your dex, Wiswick?
My intelligence is +4, and I use that.
Okay, you can go first.
He's so smart. He goes first.
Kieran, what'd you get?
9.
Okay. All right, Cal, you're up first. About 20 feet ahead of you are two harpies.
All right, I'm gonna
Stab
run in.
him.
Yep.
Do you want
Run
to change
in.
the initiative order on your screen, Sean?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot I had this. Yeah, well, Cal, what are you doing?
I'm gonna run forward whilst screaming because my
Okay.
friends told me not to, do that. Plus, I think we're pretty far away from the Watcher into the Waters, so I think we're probably okay.
Me first. Yeah, there you go.
So I'm screaming to make sure that they can't sing to me, or to get some kind of boost at that.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna stab one right in the eye.
Nice.
All right. Roll to attack.
$16.
16 hits. Roll damage.
Nice music.
Thanks.
11.
This is courtesy of Sound Strike.
That's great.
11.
11 points of damage.
Yes.
All right. So, and is that I'll say there's one on the left, which is on the pillar, one on the right. Do you want to
I
go
went
for the
after
left
the
or the
one-
right? The right one is closest to the gem.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if possible, I kind of want to step over the gem.
You can't step over the gem because the gem is within its 5-foot cube.
Oh, it's closed. Okay.
Okay, sorry. Okay, 19 points of damage. So you go up and you see, the creatures they notice you as soon as you approach, but they're shocked at how quickly you rush into the fight, Cal. As you leap forward and go for a piercing blow right to the chest of that harpy, and you see its wings unfurl, and it's immediately like. All right, it's the harpy's turn. So the one on the rock, Cal, immediately lunges down at you and goes for an attack. What's your AC?
18, baby.
Frickin' fighters. All right, it does have multi-attack. So first one is a 16, so the first one misses. Second one is a 11, so it misses. So you see this harpy comes down. All right, so you see this harpy's talons come down and claw towards you, but you back up and you're about to go in for that riposte. Go ahead.
It's a 16 again.
That hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
That's not as good. It's like an 8. It's an 8.
An 8? All right. So you see the creature, two claws at you, and then suddenly it misses, and it's still flapping in the air as you stab it right in the chest again. All right. The other harpy is immediately going to and then release the luring song. And you're all within 30 feet, so I need everyone to make a wisdom saving throw.
No,
Does the-
make a wisdom.
Does the
Screaming.
wax do anything? Does the lint do anything?
I would say that Timber, Scarlet,
Hey.
and
Look at this,
Huron, Timber, Scarlet, and Wiswick have advantage on this because they've plugged their ears. Screaming does not help. Huron, you didn't plug your.
Nope.
Nice.
All right, Scarlet, what'd you get?
Natural 20, so 22.
You resist it. Timber, what'd you get?
I had a 14.
You resist it. Huron, what'd you get?
12.
You resist it.
Oh,
Wiswick, what'd you get?
17.
All right, you all resist it as this beautiful song is playing to your battle. As this harpy is attempting to lure you all and lull you all into a charm, but you all shake it off, and we're gonna go into. Oh, I'm sorry, Timber. You actually had your turn was ahead of the harpies. I'm sorry, but Timber, you're up anyway. So Timber, you're up. Next turn, you'll be a bit ahead of the harpies.
Oh, good, good.
So Timber, what do you want to do?
I want to. I want to actually try to flank the one that Cal is currently attacking.
You do have enough movement to do that.
He is a fast boy.
I am a fast
He's a
boy.
good boy.
And I will attack with my claws.
Go for it. So you guys see Timber drops to all fours and starts rushing forward and skids in the mud around behind the harpy and goes for his pop pop. What'd you get?
Well, the first one is a dirty 20.
Hits. Second one?
And the second one is a natural 20. So,
All right. All right.
La
Okay,
di
so-
da.
All right. So roll damage for each. Roll
Yes.
damage for the first one.
Okay, so the first one is 7 damage.
Okay. All right. Now roll damage for the second one. And describe to me how you want this critical flourish to look like.
Well, Timber's signature thing is to go for the throat. So,
That's true.
what he's going to do is, as he's sliding through the mud, he's going to use his left hand to claw at its or claw upwards to like kind of like, you know, hit its chest and then hit its beak so it looks up, and then use its right hand to go for the jugular.
Okay. So go ahead and roll damage
So for this one,
and double the die roll.
yes.
So for those of you wondering, I'm trying to differentiate us from Critical Role by having you expertly explain your critical hits as opposed to your last hits.
Got it.
But also our last hits, because I like those too.
We'll still do those.
What about first?
This one,
Describe all your hits.
this is
Role
a
play, baby.
9.
9
9.
with the critical.
Now with the critical. So I rolled.
Okay.
Yeah, I rolled a 3 times 2, 6 plus 3,
All right.
9.
All right. So for those of you watching, and Cal, you've just stabbed one and stabbed the other, and you look over your shoulder, and you see Huron dashes around, skids around to be flanking, and you see he immediately. Did I say Huron?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about Huron and Timber. I mix them up all the time for some reason. Anyways, Timber skids around. You see he immediately goes and knocks the creature down and exposes its neck, bites it on the neck, lifts it up and smashes it to the ground. The creature hits the ground. Its blood's kind of gushing out of its neck. It's just barely alive. Anything else, Timber?
That's all I got.
All right, Wiswick, you are up, and then Scarlet, you're on deck.
How far away am I from the one that was just injured?
20 feet.
Perfect. I'm going to move up to 10 feet from it, and then I'm going to cast Poison Spray, but I will make it into a fire shot with my Conflagration Spray. Actually, you know what? We'll keep it poison.
Does
think poison will work better
that
here.
does that only affect enemies, or does it affect everyone in range?
It is a puff of poison that affects one creature.
Okay. All right. What? It's a DC, right?
Yes, the DC is a Constitution.
What am I? I guess I'll just roll it first.
14,
All right. So that is 16.
Ouch. Doesn't do anything.
All right. So as this creature is sort of flailing down to the ground, the puff of poisonous air shoots at it, but it sort of it refocuses, determined in its last dying breaths to withstand this brute force attacking it. Anything else, Wiswick?
Can I take the rest of my movement to back up 15 feet?
Absolutely. Easy enough. You're back up 15 feet, so you are now 35 feet away from the harpies. Scarlet,
Well,
you're up.
I was
You're on your
10
own
feet
deck.
away from it.
You were. Oh, you moved forward.
Yeah,
All right, so then you move forward. So that sense you're 25 feet away from it.
right. Okay.
Scarlet, you're up. Huron, you're on deck.
All right. How far away is the gem?
The gem is 20 feet from you because it's underneath the harpy that Cal and
It's under the harpy.
yeah, it's in its 5-foot square. It's like between its legs, essentially.
All right. Well, all right. I'm gonna try something. I don't think it's gonna work, but I'm gonna try it. I want to run and like lunge at the ruby. I want to like try and like get it, or not ruby, whatever it is. But at the same time, I also want to stab at the harpy. So kind of like a roll and tuck kind of thing.
Yeah. So what I'll say for that is you can use. I'd say you can use your action to attack, and you can use your bonus action to grab the gem.
Okay. Cool.
So go ahead and roll an attack. As you roll forward so that you're low down to the ground, you snatch the ruby and you go up for a dagger attack from underneath onto the harpy. So go ahead and roll to attack.
Oh.
Does she get advantage since we're technically flanking?
No, because where her positioning is, she is not flanking with anyone. So as you go up, you sort of roll down. You're like sliding in, so you're kind of in that crunch position, and you go up for it, and the harpy just barely moves out of the way as the dagger shoots up. Anything else? You have 10 feet of movement left.
Did I grab the ruby?
You did successfully grab the ruby.
Great. I'm gonna skitter back 10 feet.
All right, so the harpy's going to get an attack of opportunity
Oh
on you.
fuck! Yeah, I forgot about that.
I'm gonna
That's
block
fine.
it.
I'll still do it.
Do you have? Well, you can't, even if you had something that
Yeah,
could, because you used your
already
reaction
used
already.
reaction, yeah.
All right.
Fool.
So that's 7.
Nope.
All right, the harpy misses you. All right, Huron, you're up, and then Cal, you're on deck.
So out of the two, the one that's on the pedestal got hit by just Wiswick, right? No.
I missed.
No,
me.
it got hit by Cal.
Reposted it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
And that
regardless-
one is actually flying right above Cal. It's no longer on the pedestal. It's actually flying right above Cal.
Could I walk up to it and grab it?
Yes, it's still within range to be able to
Okay,
grab at its heels, essentially.
Yeah. So Kieran's gonna walk forward, grab at it, and then cast Inflict Wounds at first level.
Roll to attack. Yeah, these harpies are silly. They can't freaking hit anything.
17.
I've been getting such bad rolls in all of our combat scenarios. I think I might need to get some new die. Not that I want to kill you guys. What'd you roll?
17.
That hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Say that to Jet.
Yeah, Jet is definitely dead. You better buy some incense.
22
I got
points
some,
of
though.
necrotic damage.
That's just enough.
22 points.
That's literally just enough.
Nice. All right.
All right. Go ahead and describe
So Kieran, all calm and collected, just walks forward. You know, his crossbow's on his back, quarterstaff's on his back. He doesn't use that kind of shit. Just reaches up, and because he's kind of tall, it's not too much of a grab for him. So he just grabs it by the heel and just his eyes flare with that glow of Iluvania and just inflicts wounds.
Absolutely. Anyone who can see, just sees him calmly step up. You see those eyes where the sclera is all black, and there's just that pupil of blue energy. And you see they peel over with a bright white light as he grabs onto this harpy's leg, pulls it down a little bit where it goes, and then just you see this light surge into its body, underneath its skin, highlighting its veins as it seeps through its entire body, and the creature's eyes turn black as it and it crumples to the ground.
Kieran's
one
still holding onto it.
still holding on to it as he looks at the other one. The harpy in between, all of you now, surrounded entirely, is like it is not a good day for that harpy. Cal, you're up.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a boot on its neck and my sword through its skull.
Go ahead, roll with advantage. You're flanking it with timber.
With advantage, you say?
See,
Oh, with
That I say
sweet advantage.
not quite a 20, 19.
all right. Go ahead and roll damage. I'll say, because I know what your stats are, your modifier will kill this thing.
Okay.
So how do you want to do this?
Yeah, exactly what I said. I literally just casual, like I'm looking at how impressive Kieran just was, and I'm like, holy shit! And I like kind of just keep looking at him while I put my boot and just go like I to flip my sword like upside down, so I'm holding it kind of like in between my fingers, sort of. I just go.
Yeah. This is like for all the like somewhat embarrassing moments you've all had in the past in your combat where you've occasionally messed up. This is like you owned these harpies. Like this is a confidence booster if there ever was one in this campaign right now. Where Kieran just grabbed a harpy in the air and ripped it to the ground and just destroyed it essentially. And then immediately afterwards, Cal just booted the neck of this harpy down, so its wings are flapping violently. And then he just very casually dropped his blade down into it. It was super slow as it just, and the harpy. The harpies
You said their feathers are blue, right?
They're a dull gray that somewhat of a blue to them, like
All
pigeons.
right, I pluck the most vibrant of them from its head and put it in my hat.
I'll say you get 3 vibrant harpy feathers.
Lovely.
I go
They
for
have
the
a nice deep indigo blue at the base that fades up to a black. So indigo to gray to black at the tip of the feather. You get it from the crown of its head.
Sean, just to change the mood, do you want to just change the music?
No, I want this epic music to be playing.
as we place the gem in.
That's a good point to stop that music as it crescendoed.
Yeah,
Right, I'd like to clean off my blade and then walk over to Wiswick. I'm gonna be like, "Hey, man, I'm incredibly sorry about Jed. Are you going to be okay?"
Yeah, I'll be alright. He's just a bad.
So it's in this calm moment.
Let's just make his death not in vain.
that you're all this very quick battle. It's literally like 30 seconds long.
You mean 6
Scarlet
seconds?
has the 12 seconds.
Sorry.
We
12
got to the
seconds.
second round.
Yeah, we did.
There's only 2 of them. I could throw all like 90 of them on you if you want.
Yeah.
The harp.
You suddenly the skies darken.
Dive!
Get him! In this calm moment, Scarlet, you have the gem. Cal, you step up to Clayton or our Wiswick to commiserate with him. But things are calm at this point. You hear very off, pretty far in the distance. But you're safe for the moment. You have the last gem. You see the pillar, 2 gems in it, 1 gem spot left.
I
Yeah.
go up
One
and I
do
stick.
not miss this chance to
Yeah.
gem. This opportunity comes.
Ha!
Do you put it in?
Yep.
Yeah,
That's what she said.
we put it in together.
You put it in together. They each light up. There, you see the lights. Yeah, boom, boom, boom. You have to hit it in the right order.
Yeah.
If this was really a puzzle-solving situation in like a Zelda game, but you see lights come from beneath them, and they sort of create divots in the pillar that weren't there before, and they come together into druidic sigils across the entire thing, and they continue to glow. You notice off to the left where there had been vines kind of writhing in their own way. They seep into the ground, docile. At this point, you can freely move through the swamp and avoiding these traps. There are still harpies searching about, and there's still the carrion crawler in the water, but traps will not stop you from progressing.
Do you think we could?
It's at this point, before we do anything, I want to take a quick break.
Well, that's
so
what
we
I
can
was
show
just
our-
about to ask in character. God.
Sorry.
Short rest. As
Yes.
Can you ask? Go ahead and ask in character. We'll take a quick break. Those in chat, don't go anywhere during the break because we're going to show you some very cool artwork of Scarlet and Cal. Timber, go ahead and short rest in person, in character.
Can we take a quick break, guys? I need to.
Yes, I could use a short rest. I also, before I do that, I'm going to use second wind.
Good idea.
Arcane recovery.
All right. So you're going to take a short rest. We'll get to that when we get back from the break. During this break, stick around with us, guys. We've got about another hour and a half of the show left. Timber, if you wouldn't mind showing our beloved audience the beautiful artwork we've got done by Eddie York during the break.
Check it out.
I'm going to go to the little boys' room.
I'm gonna go to little girls' rooms. Wait a minute.
All right, so we got some art commissioned. We briefly showed it last time. During the guess it's the Tim and Alex break.
Oh yeah, it's the Tim and Alex show. Oh my God, how you doing, Tim?
Oh shit, Shannon's at Sean's house.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Shannon's in our state now.
What intricate webs we need.
Anyway, so Tim, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. I'm glad to be. I work today, so I'm glad to be done with that. We should show them the art. Yes, there it is. So, the art that we've commissioned.
I hold on. I'll go back to the art. Let me go back to the art.
No, you did. I can see the art. Or
Oh,
am I just that behind on Twitch?
You're just behind on Twitch.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
So sorry, everyone. Art time.
It is
on the left. You can see Cal. He's both of these are done by the fantastic Eddie York. If anyone wants his information to custom or to commission their own characters, please let us know. We could send you over to him, in the chat or I guess on Twitter or any of those. On the left is Cal. You can see him. He's got his rapier and his fun ass hat. He also we don't describe it very often, but he does wear a side cape because he's cool.
And make sure you note that it's purple. It's purple.
It is a purple side cape. Yep. I like the amount. I like the placement of all of his belts and straps. On the right side is Scarlet. She is a little bit grayish because she's not technically human, but like a little bit mostly human. That's actually something we haven't totally figured out, other than she can become lava-y and spooky.
Right.
So we were thinking lava genasi, but then she said something else, and I wasn't paying attention.
I believe it's a lava genasi.
Yeah, but she said it was like a blessed touch, God touched human or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
Where she's just playing it like a lava genasi. And then she has a number of belts and straps as well, and she can produce fire, and she's got a special dagger.
In her boot.
See in her boot there.
I don't know. I don't know if her special dagger's in her boot, but she's got a dagger that's special.
She got
to her.
at least 2 daggers. Well, we could see 2 daggers and a short sword.
Right.
So that's that. Once again, Ed York or Eddie York. He at Eddie York on Instagram. He is absolutely fantastic and really awesome to work with. He really takes suggestions really well, and he does an excellent job.
Yeah.
I can't tell if they're compressed because of the way I'm looking at them. Oh yeah, they're not. It was just the way I was looking at them.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're really awesome, especially if you look at those on full screen. They're fantastic.
Right.
Fantastic.
Shut the fuck up! This is the Tim and Alex show.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fantastic. He just recently did Timber. That will be up on next episode, next week, and so you guys can take a look at Wolfie Boy. And yeah, great dude to work with. Absolute pleasure. And like Tim said, he'll take your details that you come up with for your character, and he'll just run with it. And
also very fast. His turnarounds are super fast too.
Yeah, very, very fast.
Cool.
I don't know if he has a Twitter handle, but I can find out.
Confirmed Instagram.
Yes, confirmed Instagram.
Probable Twitter.
Insta
You know what?
spam.
Alex, can you post his like?
All right, I'm back.
One second, Sean.
Cool story, bro.
Can I
Hang on.
post
What?
his what? Do you want
What?
to post his
What's he use that like the Imgur or whatever is just like posted?
Oh,
You talking about Eddie?
yes, yes.
I don't know if he has an Twitter.
I don't think he does.
But his Instagram
He
is
does. He does. It's the same.
just Eddie York.
Shannon, do you mind posting that in the chat? Twitter?
I don't
can do
have
it.
the stream
I
up
can do it.
anymore.
All right,
I can
thank
So it
you.
was eating up the internet.
It's EDDIE York
Or
YORK.
K-E. E.
Yeah,
XYZ.
yeah. Real good guy.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, great.
I have had no interactions. So.
Well, guess what,
Yes.
Kieran?
I'm like 100% down if we get enough money from the stream to ensure that we get everyone's character art from him, because
No,
3 out of
I'm
5
telling
right now. That combined art is gonna look amazing.
Yeah.
Like together.
But
Especially if we all pitch in for a group shot. It
That would be
glorious.
so cool.
Technically, with the PNGs we have, we can create a group shot.
No,
with
no,
already
we gotta
gamers.
just do it. We're in like a tavern, and we're all hanging out, having a good time, and like Wiswick is up on Kieran's shoulders,
Shawarma.
being like, "Woo!" And
Priority is the individuals.
priorities
In the future, will absolutely. I mean, he unofficially is officially the
right.
artist artist for
In
Paradise RPG.
residence.
President, yeah.
Anyway, let's go back in.
Sure.
You're muted.
I'm not talking to you guys.
Oh,
Anyway,
that's fair.
No, let's just keep it as intermission with Tim and Alex the whole time.
I'm ready to go back in.
So
Yeah,
are
no,
we.
we're here. We're here.
We live?
Yeah, we've always been live.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh.
Actually, no, Sean, we're not live.
You've always been live, Sean.
Yeah, it's
You've
time to
always
say
been-
all the things
How
that
are you
we
guys
don't
doing?
tell our listeners.
Haven't you noticed all
Did
the
you
people
guys-
that do ad breaks next
Yeah.
to you?
Did you guys read the script today?
Tim, you were going way off book, and it's really throwing me off.
you messed your lines up the entire time. I can't handle it.
And Kieran, you messed up your rolls. You were supposed to get a 4.
Yeah, Kieran, you're supposed to fail all those rolls.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Kieran's supposed to be the punching bag. I get it.
Welcome back from the great break, everyone. Thanks for sticking with us. I hope you enjoyed that art from Eddie York. We're hoping to get some more art done from him. We've got Timber in the works. We'll get that shown as soon as we can. We're very excited. It's just super cool to be able to see our characters come to life. So I hope you enjoyed it as much as we do. We're going to jump back into the game. So you all are taking a short rest at this point. So you're staying in this place for about an hour. Please explain to me how you're setting yourselves up for an hour with harpies searching through the swamp.
Timber's gonna take the first 30 minutes to hide the bodies.
Okay, how are you hiding them?
Well, first he's gonna see if there's any body of water, so the stupid thing can eat them.
So I mean, let me look. So yeah, the thing is not necessarily close by, like the pool where you originally saw it, but there is 2 bodies of water immediately in front of you, past the pillar, that is lighting up. There's one on the left, one on the right.
Yeah, I throw harpies and both.
I mean, it's easy enough. They're gonna float a little, but
yeah. Well,
they got hollow bones.
okay. All right.
So
All right. Cool.
they're floating there for a little bit.
And then I'm gonna meditate for the rest of the 30 minutes.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing?
Could I possibly just jot down the druidic symbols that appeared on that
Yeah.
thing? Okay,
Absolutely.
cool.
I'm also gonna use 2 of my hit die.
Okay. Is anyone else using hit die?
No, but I am using arcane recovery.
Does arcade recovery take up your time where you can't do other things?
Probably, I would imagine.
I'd imagine too.
Once per day, when you finish a short rest, you can choose an expended cell clot to uncover, blah, blah, blah. I think I can do a short rest during that time. So, like, if I wanted to spend hit dice, I could, but it does require me to have a short rest in order to...
Yeah, I think that it would take up your time where you wouldn't be able to mark down the etchings. You can use hit
Okay, that's
dice.
fine.
You can do the normal short rest things, but it takes up your time to recover the spell slots.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna focus on the arcane recovery then, and maybe
Kiran, could you jot down those? Do you recognize those things at all? What does that mean?
Does Kieran recognize him? He's looked to the history of the druids and has
Give
looked
me
through...
insight check.
Okay. 19.
So the script is familiar, but you're not familiar with what exactly they mean. So it reminds you of the script on your stones that you have, which you can imagine are some sort of druidic warding runes, similar to how you have your stones are similar to that, the shapes. It doesn't look like druidic, the language, so it's not a written text. It reminds you more of, say, arcane runes that Wiswick might be more familiar with, but druidic in nature.
It appears that these are similar warding glyphs of some kind that the druids use. I'm not totally sure, though. You might be more familiar with them than I am. But I will also watch the skies above, crossbow ready, for any harpies that show up.
Give me a perception check.
No, you give me a perception check.
Okay.
21.
I will. For the harpies. Looking for
Okay.
you. You guys doing any kind of hiding? Or are you just
I am.
I am.
I mean, I hide as much as I can.
Yeah. I'd say everyone give me a general stealth check. Just for keeping out of sight with wherever you're landing. There's still kind of like some short trees, but it's kind of hard to hide in this place where you are right now.
21.
21.
6.
Scar?
26.
Cal?
Hardly enough for 17.
Scarlet, can you roll a d20 for Timber since Alex has stepped away?
Yep.
I know what his modifier is.
Okay. 7.
Oh, okay. I mean, he's fine, but the harpy did not roll that high. I would say, Kieran, you do notice a harpy flying above. Circles a few moments. Moves on. Seemingly did not notice you all.
My terrible roll. Cool.
All right. So your short rest comes to a conclusion. Wiswick, you completed your arcane recovery. Timber completed his meditations. I guess, just for reference for everyone, I guess, you do notice Timber is sort of off in the distance, meditating away. It's sort of strange. It's the first time you've seen Timber, other than Scarlet, you've really only seen Timber in combat, in his humanoid form, or in conversation. It's very interesting to see this lanky, sort of ascetic-looking wolf in like sitting cross-legged, just sort of head down as he concentrates. It's a strange sight for a lot of you, having only seen him in his ferocity in battle. And it's the first moment you really think like, oh, wait, what's going on here? Is he some kind of monk?
More like some kind of bunk.
Timber, I was just describing how you're sitting in the corner meditating. It's the first time most of them have seen you meditate, so they're like, oh, is he religious?
Oh,
Is he a zealot?
Yeah, he's not paying attention to anybody.
The hour comes to conclusion. Timber, you come out of your meditation. You notice a few of them kind of eyeing you a little bit, noticing for the first time you in a meditation. What would you all like to do?
Kieran would like to inspect the track. Oh, so are we all ready to go then?
Yes.
Yep.
So we had seen tracks leading down the left path. Kieran would like to look for those tracks and then attempt to follow them down the left path.
Okay.
I would like to keep up with him and check for tracks.
Okay. Give me an investigation check, Scarlet. Huron, give me a perception check to follow the tracks.
Oh,
Actually, sorry,
my second nat one.
survival check.
Got a 4.
I got 2 nat ones tonight too.
Well, it's still an 18 instead
Okay.
of a 22. But
Scarlet, what'd you get?
4. I rolled my second nat one.
Okay. Scarlet.
Yeah.
I'd like you to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Sure.
That I could do.
Oh my god.
Oh.
9.
9.
9.
Oh yes.
Ugh.
There's a deep cut to the Inglorious Bastards trailer.
Scarlet, you take 6 points of piercing damage
Lovely.
as a bear trap, a rusty bear trap, closes down on your leg. You are technically restrained,
Great.
so you guys get it off.
I would like
we
to help her
immediately
off.
get it off. Yeah.
I'd say we don't have to roll for it. You are able to get her out of it. This would be more dangerous if there were enemies around you and you were stepped in it. But you take. I would also like you to give me a Constitution saving throw
Me?
for tetanus.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Let's all.
Oh my
get
god.
some
I rolled a 1, a 3, and then a 2.
Scarlet's got lockjaw.
Wow.
So I have a 6.
All right, Scarlet, you are considered poisoned for the next minute.
Oh, I was already poisoned. Why? Oh, because of the
Mud methods?
yeah, they vomited all over me. I should have said that. I'm sorry. I
Well,
just
it's too
noticed.
late now.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I should have known
All
that.
right, everyone, we're going back to the start of the session.
I'm doing all the stealth rolls.
All right, so you took some damage and you're a little woozy for the next minute.
Cool.
Huron, you're easily able to follow the tracks. They do. Luckily, you're able to follow it because you find a fork in the road. On the right, the tracks do not continue, but you can see that kind of leads to a small alcove. But the tracks continue to the left.
I will follow them while also looking out for traps.
I'd like to hang out in the back with Timber and be like, "Hey, friend, are you some kind of monk?"
You can call me that. Sure.
You know, I'm curious to learn more, but I think perhaps might be the wrong time. We should talk about this when we get back to civilization and/or just
Let's
camp.
talk later.
Civilization.
Oh, stay around.
So you continue on, Huron. Scarlet, would you like to check for traps again?
Yes, I would. I'd like to do
Alright.
better this time.
Roll investigation with disadvantage.
Oh, well,
Huron, you
Assist
need
her.
no because you're busy following the tracks. Give me a
That's
survival
fair.
check.
Okay, not bad. 13.
Okay. Huron, would you roll for survival?
Nat 20.
Nice.
You would very easily follow those tracks. Those tracks are clear as day. You do not find any traps in this area. You approach and you reach a wider berth of solid land. You see directly across from you as you enter into this area is a small little statue of a wolf. It is a small statue of a wolf. The tracks go to this statue. They linger there for a moment. You find the refuse of an old campfire. And then they continue on towards a path that leads up to the right.
Inspect the statue, Huron will.
Give me an investigation roll, Baby Yoda.
Could I do the same?
First off, it's not a baby Yoda.
It's a Baby Yoda species.
And it hasn't spoken yet, so why would it?
I'm gender
It's
positive,
spoken. It
so
says,
I say it's
yeah.
a baby yaddle.
So you're saying that Yoda
Yeah,
had a weird speech pattern for his species? He would have been. I don't care. What'd you roll? Investigation.
I
Fucking
say it's more likely
sidetracked
that
in the last hour of
baby
the
will
session.
Speak like the Mandalorian.
What was it?
5.
Okay, so I mean, you don't really find much than what you can superfluously see. It's a very old statue. It's covered in moss.
Part of my religion weapon.
It's somewhat sinking into the ground. This is not necessarily the strongest ground. It is very old. It looks older than the village you saw in the other section of the swamp. It actually looks like it in the miring movements of the swamp. And at one point, it was completely submerged, and for some reason, it is above the water. Hinting at this swamp is very tumultuous, but you can't gain much else other than that superfluous gaze.
So it looks like the tracks lead to the statue, and they pause here for a moment before continuing up there. There's also signs of a fire here. I'm not sure if we need to do anything at the statue before moving on.
Could I
I
possibly?
say-
I'd like to investigate the statue.
Whoa!
I
One at a time. You guys are eager. Wiswick, you
just
said
gonna
something
leave.
first.
Okay, thanks. Ooh, I'm the best. 18 plus 6 is
Nice.
24.
For investigation.
Uh huh.
So Wiswick, you approach the statue and you sit there. Pedestrian. And then you look down to the statue. Really isn't much. It seems as though it is just a sort of worn down relic of whatever was when this swamp was solid land. It's just a remnant of that time. Interesting historically, but uninteresting for what you're doing right now. What interests you more is the campfire. Because it's not a campfire. There's a burnt, scorched mark on the ground. There's no remnants, no hint of any sort of campfire itself. It almost looks as though there was a magical campfire there at one point. And you notice amongst the dirt and ash and whatnot, remnants of paper. Like there's no refuse of like wood or anything that built the fire. There's just sort of burnt up ash that has that sort of, if you like burn newspaper in a fire to get it started, the way it looks as it's in its ashen form, just a little bit of that there. So what you can really surmise from it is that someone burned some papers in a magical fire. It was some sort of small magical bonfire that they were using. They did not use natural means to start the fire.
Huh. Strange. It seems somebody's been burning paper over here. Maybe, I don't know why anybody would want to burn precious paper. Maybe it's letters or books or... I don't know,
surmise
it
it's
seems to
because-
be magical.
I would surmise it's because there's something that they want to hide, or do some religions perhaps burn prayers? I don't know. It's not really my specialty.
I'm thinking maybe there's someone hidden in the tower and they were burning the letters that they were sending back to civilization.
Why out
Wiswick.
here? Why out here?
You also find, as you're saying all of this and
So
sort
they
of
don't get caught.
digging through the papers, within the paper is a charred ring.
Don't put it on.
It's already on my finger.
For the love of the flame,
Did
don't
you put it
that
on?
fucking thing on.
Yep. Other finger.
Okay.
We know these assholes create cursed rings.
Can't get it off.
Oh,
Dang it!
Idiot.
You know,
I'm just gonna plant
Wiswick,
cursed rings everywhere in this campaign for everyone to pick up.
for the amount of intelligence you have shown in the past, that was rather stupid.
Eddie.
It's an
Well,
interesting looking.
You lose some.
It is an interesting looking ring, though. It's of course a metal band, but it's charred. It almost looks like burnt wood that's around your finger, but it's cool to the touch. And there's a socket where there's a missing gem. That it's not very large. It's probably quarter of an inch across. But you put it on and you try to take it off. You can't get it off.
How many carrots we talking?
Yeah, for mechanical purposes,
No, I'm just...
You are vulnerable to fire damage.
Cushion cut, you think?
Oh, is he?
I mean,
You don't know that. You don't know
Still
that
at
yet.
you.
Maybe square cut?
The ring is will not come off.
Those are diamond references for those.
What would y'all like to do?
Continue.
I would like to offer to chop Wiswick's finger off.
No, it's fine. I'll check it out later.
Okay. As we continue walking, then, if everyone's good with that,
Yep.
I'd like to stay behind with Timber still, and be like, I'm a little confused. Why, if someone used this to get in, would they give the gems to the harpies and the mephits? It doesn't make any sense. Imagine the stress you'd have to go through just to get into your own goddamn tower. I don't understand.
I don't understand either. It's like when people put
I
traps
just don't
in
think
their own
they'll
house.
just stick the key on you. Yeah, right?
Right.
I don't understand. Cursed rings around. Who the fuck makes a cursed ring?
It's almost
Makes
as if the journal said he hadn't been here in months.
That's
Almost a year, maybe. Anyway.
Also, why would they put the switch on and off outside of the trap?
yes. It doesn't make any sense at all. Wait, see, it only makes sense. We don't have to do this show.
No,
This
we
is
don't.
supposed to be a cutaway.
Yeah,
No,
it-
I would like you to come up with the reasons that this would happen. It's almost as if you'll get there. All right.
it
So
could- it
you
could be.
notice you start to curve around as you are approaching sort of another fork. The tracks go left, and actually you look right, and you can see kind of through the fog, Mephit Village. So that one of the first areas that you tried to traverse that blocked you is there. You're looking forward, and what you can see through the fog is a little hut. It's a very small structure. It's not a hut. That's the wrong way to put it. It's the first thing here that, one, is not burnt down and ruined or sinking. It legitimately just looks like a small cottage, like a studio cottage.
Perhaps a gatekeeper's house.
There is no lights on. It's a shingled, pointed roof, 1 story, very small, probably 20 by 20. And beyond it is the hill leading up to about 200 yards away from you. It's the silhouette of the tower. It seems as though you've reached somewhat solid land, or you're approaching solid land to what is Bracken Hill. The tower is ahead of you.
Scarlet, lead the way.
I will lead the way.
Stealthily, or what are you doing?
Yes. Yep.
Are you guys going to the house, or are you going directly to the tower?
Oh, yeah, we're at the house. Let's go to the house.
I think we should go.
House.
All right.
Always
We're
clear
walking right past the house, right?
Yeah,
Or are you going to the house?
Well, no, I'm sorry. Like on our way to the tower, the house would be on the way.
It's
I
on your
say
left,
we
yes.
assault the house.
is there any light coming from inside of the house?
No light coming from inside the house.
I think it's more important to get to the tower.
I
Timber's,
think it's more important to clear our back trails so enemies don't come out behind us.
Timber's gonna walk up to the house and knock on the door.
I'm gonna be next to the door with my sword drawn like this.
Hello? Is anybody home?
No
Okay.
noise comes from inside.
I'm gonna creak the door open, push the door open for on the side, like for Cal to go in
Breaching.
breaching. Exactly.
So as you creak the door open, you all
Anyone
start to
have a
notice
flashbang spell?
that a light rain begins to fall upon you.
From inside the house or outside?
No, outside the house.
Okay.
The weather is
Maybe there's a thing
it's-
inside the house. I don't know.
It's raining a little.
I hear
There
it
might
now.
be some distant thunder. But anyway, you creak open the door. There it is. You creak open the door. and the inside is dark. It's very dark. There's just light from the 2 windows on the sides of the house. It's very dusty inside. Sort of, actually, at this point, because you guys got here about midday, so at this point, it's not evening yet, but it's late afternoon. It's not ruined by any means. It's actually quite clean, except for the table across from you has a plate of molded food on it. There's remnants of a fire and a small hearth. There's a small cot in one corner, and a small table that has several trinkets and goods on it.
Can we?
They look,
investigate?
yeah, absolutely.
I
Doesn't
checked
require a
under the
roll.
goods.
Nothing is necessarily hidden. You're just pretty much seeing it. Under the cot, you find a short sword.
Oh.
And a simple shield.
Oh.
And a short bow.
Oh.
On the table, you find reagents, essentially. You find a knuckle bone. You find some burnt out incense. You find a small feather. You find some phosphorescent moss. Just sort of several different reagents. You see carved into the table is a rudimentary symbol of the Ashkeeper. It's not the swirl. It's a like someone was almost as if someone was bored with a knife, just carving a very loosely carved symbol of a tree with branches coming out and the roots coming out below.
Can I with the incense and the moss? Is the incense burnt out completely, or is it?
Incense is burnt out completely. It's not.
Okay.
It's not salvageable.
Okay. Can I? I would like to take the moss.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You have 1 unit of phosphorescent moss.
Wiswick takes the knuckle bone, throws it up in the air as if he was playing knuckle bones, grabs all the other reagents, and then catches the knuckle.
Oh, I love that.
You're gonna have to roll. You're gonna have to roll for that.
The classic game
Oh,
of Knucklebone from the Underdark.
Yep.
So it's simple reagents. They're definitely things you can utilize towards your spells. Nothing of significant gold value other than the burnt out incense, which is all burnt out. You find
By design.
by design, no. Looking at the table, this is a very rudimentary dwelling. You find whoever lived here lived very ascetic life. The food on the table is molded like roots almost. There's a lot of roots there piled together, and some mosses that are still a bit fresh, but the roots are dried out. And then there's very moldy bread, essentially like when you forgot about those hot dog rolls in your cabinet, and you pull them out and they're like caked in mold.
I've never done that.
And then there's
I lived in college.
and then there's an empty pot over the hearth. It's essentially a dwelling that someone hasn't lived in for a while, but the food indicates that they must have left and not come back in the midst of eating.
So, I mean, I want to hear Timber's hypothesis here. What do you have to say, Timber?
I don't care. Somebody used to live here. This is
Yeah,
not important. There's no people in here. That's all we care about. Let us go.
I mean, I beg to differ. I have a guess here. Maybe this is where the Archdruid lived, and because everything's abandoned, it's where he left it. And maybe the tribes weren't keeping people out. They were keeping this whatever lives in that tower in, and this was how he watched it without harming himself. He hid in this little hut.
Honestly, that was probably the smartest thing that came out of their mouth.
So my vote about that is, if you are right, we've already fucked up, and if you're wrong, that's better for us. So I say we just think that you're wrong for now and carry onwards, because we still need to find the medicine, right?
Kieran,
Yeah, I mean, we don't really have much
Yeah.
of a choice here. We're gonna have to go in there.
as they're bickering, you look out sort of the front shutter of the room, because I imagine you're all piled into the house.
I'm sorry. I meant to say this earlier. Kieran would not have gone in. He would have waited like
Good
on
to
the
know.
outside, looking out, keeping an eye out.
Good. Kieran, you hear them bickering inside.
Mm,
You're looking up at the silhouette of the tower. It's much clearer now.
okay.
Ruined. This is a tower ages old, hundreds of years old. Mostly death destroyed. Really, it's just the foundation of the tower. The walls of it raise up about significantly high, indicating that the original tower was very tall. The ruined walls probably raise up about 50 or 60 feet. And it was a portion of the height of the actual tower. There's a layer of windows, which appears to be up about 20 feet up, which is likely a second floor, where you had seen that torchlight. The torchlight goes out. And it appears like the wall is raising up around, as if the other side is mostly ruined and collapsed. The side facing the way you came is the tallest side of the ring tower. And it is a circular tower. It's like a church tower or a church bell tower in old monasteries, but much larger than real life because this is D&D.
Of course.
Can I look? Go ahead.
Do you think those mosses could be the medicine we're looking for?
No,
Timber?
this is not mandrake. We need mandrake.
Okay.
I have not found any. If you find any, it looks like this. And then Timber attempts to like minor illusion what mandrake looked like to
Easy enough.
And it's screaming babies.
It is not screaming baby.
Yes.
It is not but it is, the root is strangely the shape of fetuses.
That's one of the few Harry Potter references you're ever going to get out of it. So
They don't look like fetuses. This is not Harry Potter.
Feti.
They're not screaming feti. The root of the mandrake does look humanoid, though. Like the roots writhe in almost like a plump humanoid form. And they're a very pale brown with very clear green veins through them. And sprouting out of the spuds of the humanoid form are green roots.
I pick up the shield and I say, Gareth, is this any use to you?
No, it's not. I was going to give it to either you or Kieran or Scar. Anyone who could benefit from it, really.
I scream from inside the house, Kieran! And then I just walk outside with it. Do you want this?
You walk out and see Kieran staring up at the tower.
I'm sorry. No, actually, I actually have a shield that I never use. It's in my inventory. I just never use it. No, I'm good, thank you, though. But the light in the tower has gone out.
What?
I
That
said
doesn't
the
sound
light
good at
in the-
all.
Oh, you heard me.
Yeah, that was emphasis. Like, oh shit.
I see.
It's a little bit more polite.
That's fair. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, no.
Anyway, we gotta go.
Go where? Why are you in such a huff?
There's
Maybe
probably
they-
a monster in there. What if it's escaping?
I think it's his perpetual state, I say as I walk out and begin striding towards the tower.
Yeah, I follow.
Okay.
I look at Scarlet. Did you want that short bow?
Oh, right. I didn't say this. I grabbed the stuff that was under the cot, and I offer them to everyone.
Everybody, yeah. That's it, yeah.
Short sword, short bow, and shield.
Yeah.
Stick with my daggers, thank you.
Is there
No.
anything unique about these in any way?
No.
Okay.
No, actually, yes.
Okay.
They are oddly formed. They do not look carved by humans or any sort of basic craftsmanship you're familiar with. They look molded. The sword, the hilt of the sword is knotty root that's almost been molded into a hilt. And the sword comes out of that sort of knotted, like it's essentially the handle is made of roots, hardwood roots. And the sword comes out, and it's very sharp, despite laying here. The bow similarly looks like it's molded out of root, and the shield is made of mostly wood, with
Oats? Sorry.
mostly oats. It's mostly oats. The shield is mostly similar gnarled roots, except that it has sort of iron plate in front, kind of covering the front.
An iron boss, perhaps?
Yes.
Any sigils or emblems on it?
No sigils.
Is there a big Quaker on it?
I'll keep the short sword and short bow for now, then. Or in the shield. I can keep all of it. I can festoon myself with weapon.
Sure.
If need be. Unless anyone wants them. They're open for
They are, I guess, at the end of the day, they're not of the Quintarchy.
Are they perhaps Sylvan?
I think Huron shared the last time that we were being followed.
Yes.
So while they're bickering and looking at the weapons, I would like to keep an eye out for whoever's following us.
Give me a perception roll.
So that's also what Kieran was doing outside.
Kieran, give me a perception roll as
Was
well.
I was gonna say, is he just distracted by the tower?
I'd say you do get distracted,
Not
but I'll give
using
you a
this
chance to
anymore.
catch something before that.
That's fair.
Does anyone have a light crossbow that they could trade bow for, and then
I
give
got
me
a
one?
6. I'm not using that dice anymore. It's done.
It's foggy. It's real foggy.
It's real foggy.
13.
I do have a light crossbow, Clayton. But the
13?
short-
Yeah.
It's real foggy.
You don't say.
Occasionally in the distance, you see the silhouette of a harpy moving through. They don't seem to come anywhere near this tower. Where you don't see any humanoids.
Shall we go inside?
Yes, definitely. But I think we should have somebody who looks at traps go first. Maybe a trap looker.
I roll my eyes and start walking.
As you all start walking towards the hill leading up to the tower, you stop for a moment when you hear the sounds of growling, snarling hounds. And you see the silhouette of the same hound you saw before, Kieran. There's 3 of them, about 30 feet from you. They have, I'd say they look they've got like a medium-haired fur, a lot of spots, kind of splotches of color here and there, but they're largely a very subtle indigo color in their fur. They have pointed ears that come out much more than a normal dog's, and their eyes have in the pupils have a light pink glow.
Huron is going to give who wants Vigilant Blessing and who wants Guidance.
I could be vigilant.
Cal gets Vigilance, and Timber, you're gonna get Guidance.
Oh,
And then when Kieran gives him Guidance, he's gonna be like, you know, with a little guidance, I believe you can scare them off.
Okay, he looks at Kieran like, oh, okay, I'll try. And then so Timber gets on all fours and just unleashes a
A
deafening,
barbaric yawp.
a barbaric, like just a very very loud. Yeah, actually no, not a.
Give me an intimidation roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a,
Thanks.
that is a Dead Poet Society reference roll.
With guidance.
Okay.
With cuts.
Okay. It's not bad. It's not bad. Okay. 18.
Okay. One disappears. It appears 20 feet ahead, about 10 feet from Timber.
Timber's gonna try again.
Outdog them.
Outdog them.
A little more guidance.
Become the alpha.
I have to. It's the way to do it. It's the way to do dogs. You gotta become alpha.
Wait,
I'm gonna walk 5 feet forward towards it and do it again.
can Kieran, when he does this, cast a minor illusion on him to make him seem like bigger and more ferocious?
Yeah,
while also
I'm gonna
giving
start.
him
I'm gonna
guidance?
start standing up too.
Also giving him guidance.
I'd say as you're fumbling to bless your friend several times, you hear a voice echo out. That's enough! Vellum, back boy! As you see across in the shadow, a humanoid figure stepping out. Get back, boy! Come on! No whistle. Dolly, you too. Panicus, you too. You see stepping down a figure. Where are my notes? What does this guy look like?
He's got a face and
And some clothes, maybe.
Okay. So he does not have clothes. You see a very smoothly skinned face, ageless, with brightly glowing amber eyes, light indigo skin, heavy beard, no mustache, comes down with dark blue colored hair, horns that come back and twist, a bare chest, very strong looking, with some straps similar to Timber's, actually, kind of just not like Timber's, but sort of where he keeps his goods. Very dark blue fur on the arms, with very large hands with claws at the end, and goat legs of a similar dark blue fur coming to cloven hooves as you see a satyr approach you. A heavy crossbow pointing downward.
Oh,
Scarlet. There she is.
Okay.
I'd like
Heavy
to
crossbow
step
pointed downward. He's at the high ground
Oh shit!
as the
Oh,
dogs
fuck,
start
we
to
can't
back
take him.
away. As he pulls out his lightsaber. No,
Chop her legs off!
I've got the high ground!
I hate you! I'm gonna step
Carl,
forward.
you are my brother!
I'm gonna step forward and I'm gonna say, "Oh, hello there. Thank you for calling them down. I'm Cal."
Crossbow
Dark?
comes.
Is it Dark?
Crossbow comes up a little bit.
I
Not
go,
pointing it at
"Hey!"
you, but up.
I show him my hands are empty.
How did you get in here?
We mostly walked.
Where are you from?
We jumped once. We are.
Who sent
from-
you?
Kieran's
We
gonna
did.
approach with his hands up and go, "We're here to learn more about the Archdruid Orlin. Did you know him?"
I knew
Are you the
Orlin.
one they call Mandrick?
How do you know my name?
We read it in his journal. Fortunately, he's passed, and we're trying to find out more about what he was doing. Would you be able to speak with us, please?
Olin is dead.
Unfortunately, yes.
Wait, how? What?
If we
How did
could
he die?
exit this dreariness, we can tell you all inside.
Pulls it up and points it at Kieran. How did he die? How did the master die?
I'd like to insight. Is he like grieving, or is he just like freaking? Like what's like what?
Give me an insight roll.
Yeah.
And you just
So
sort
I'm
of.
what I'm trying to do is figure out if like they were close emotionally, or if he's like
Yeah.
just shocked that this occurred. It's like a 13.
When did he die?
A few days ago, he
3 days ago?
was executed by the Lord of Magicset.
For treason, if it matters.
Please, he was committing atrocities to his people, to his own druids. We need to know what was happening.
Also, there's a plague.
Olin would never do that. He loved his people.
Maybe, and that's why we're trying to figure this out. It doesn't seem like something an archdruid would do to his own people.
Also, there's a plague.
Yes, we'll get to that.
Nice.
Mandrick, please, if you could
Most
help
agreed.
us.
Why should I trust you? You probably killed him yourselves.
No, that was the executioner.
Nope.
We had nothing to do with that. If it was up to me, I would still be asking him questions.
What? No.
Give me a persuasion check.
But that's the
Can I
truth.
assist? Can I assist him?
Mm-hmm. Because you were talking as well, yes. Cal,
Hey,
what do you
nat
say
20.
to support his argument? Ah, fuck.
Oh.
What I say
Not-
is his argument is goes, I trust Kieran with my life. Let him speak.
I'm not trying to have you kill another one of my NPCs.
I'm not trying to kill him either.
So, I shouldn't have eaten it. Okay. You see, you can kind of actually notice his hands are shaking a little. All right. All right. He drops the crossbow. Come on in.
Thank
yes,
you.
yes.
Thank you.
You must tell me everything. God, haven't seen anyone so long.
That must
Yeah.
be very lonely.
He hasn't returned in so long. Please, and you see he turns and he now is playing frantic host as he starts stepping towards the tower and he looks back. Yes. Come.
Can Kieran pick up his crossbow?
He is very distractedly like. Come, yes.
Is he looking at
Yes.
the tower?
No, he's looking out.
Okay.
Who's stepping up first?
I'll
Kieran.
go. Or Q can.
You're on. He kind of descends a little bit towards you as you come up. He gets real close to you, and then he grabs your shoulder. And as you can get a close look at him, he's got real heavy bags under his eyes. You can see through the glow at this point to his actual eyes. And there's sort of this yellowish tint to the sides of it. He looks as if he hasn't slept in days. His horn coming back is scuffed heavily. You see signs of age across his face. His beard is wiry and intense. He reeks horribly. And he just grabs you on the shoulders and you just... You spoke with him.
I did, a few times before he passed.
Did you see anyone on the path? Did you see anyone? Did anyone follow you?
We
Were you
I will be
followed?
honest, we were being followed. I haven't seen the person that was following us for a while.
Why do we let Kira do anything?
Please, if we could just go inside the tower, we'll keep our eyes out.
What were they wearing?
I don't know. They
Is it
were
a
very.
cloak? Do they covered in a cloak? Yellow, pale, hooded.
Kieran thinks back to the figure that he saw last session.
You only saw a black silhouette.
I only saw a black silhouette.
To be fair, weren't we being followed beforehand, though? Like on the roads?
Yeah, that's what Kieran is.
Right,
talking
I'm making that clear to Mandrick.
Oh, right. Yes.
Like, it wasn't in the swamp, it was almost a day ago.
Get inside. Get inside. Get inside. Follow me, please.
Of course.
He whistles, and the blink hounds all they all blink up and ahead of him. His goes, come on, guess. Let's come, please.
I follow him.
I hold on to what's called Cal's cloak.
It's a cape.
Okay.
Please.
Kieran motions to the group, like, come on, like, a look that clearly says, like, hey, this guy might be crazy, but we gotta figure shit out.
He leads you around the tower towards the back where it's largely collapsed. You see there's sort of splintered wood up to a second floor. And he walks in, puffs clicking. Come, please. Down below. He opens up a latch that leads down to a lower level.
So when we first enter the tower, Kieran would like to perceive to look for things and stuff.
Okay.
Just general things and stuff.
All right. Give me a perception check. Or you're all just following him down into the latch. You notice the tower is largely a ruin. Like, there's a lot of trees that have grown on the side that doesn't have walls. You actually walk through what appears to be a doorway, which is really that these trees have just grown and replaced that side of the tower wall. They are very unnatural looking. They were shaped in this way. They're not a pure wall. You can see through it slightly through the branches, but it completes the tower in a way. You walk through sort of this arch of branches. And there's just this sort of the last dim light from above, because the sun is setting at this point, bleeds through the arches and just sort of scatter this like patches of light over this satyr as he's like. I said his horns were like this, and that's not what I wrote down. As I was looking through, his horns are like this, like ibex horns, and they're twisted. Please, we need to go down below before he sees us. If he followed you,
Oh,
cloaked man, a cloaked man from the ruination. He's
does he come here often?
The ruination?
Not-
Did you say the ruination?
not.
Alright, let's go. Magic, let's go
Not-
downstairs.
Let's go downstairs.
He isn't. Not in a year. Not in a year two. He's. Let's go below. Go below.
Yeah.
No!
Yeah, let's go. I go.
Lead the way. Lead the way.
I want to be the
Kieran?
last one down and look behind us.
Is there a lock on the hatch?
I mean, yes, there is, but it's from the inside.
Okay. That
Kieran?
makes me a little more comfortable, but I'm
Yes.
still very
Rolled a
nervous.
nat
good,
20
good,
on
good,
observing the interior of the tower.
So the interior, when you step into the opening,
Yes.
is it's steep steps that lead down quite a while. That leads down to a tunnel. You can see light from torches coming from it. As you're descending down, you can see across as your compatriots come around you. You hear Yes. Please. To the chamber. As you're approaching the chamber, there's just dim torchlight lighting it up. As you see in the immediate center of the chamber you're approaching is probably a foot off the ground. There's sort of a little dais, tiny dais, in a circular dais, with a band of sigils around the edge of the dais that look similar to the glyphs on the Druidic pillar and other Druidic glyphs you've noticed. And as you get closer, the chamber widens out to a pretty large circle. You see chemist kits on one side of the room. You see supplies, barrels, and shelves of all sorts of reagents, alchemical reagents. You see 2 doors on the opposite side. You see a small hearth in not like a open fire, but in somewhat of a stove that has a little piping that leads out towards the top. You're approaching. You see there's actually a rudimentary tea kettle bubbling on that stove. As he pushes you all in. Yes. Where have you come? Yeah.
We've come to learn more about the Archdruid Orlin, what he was doing.
Master Orlin.
What can you tell us about it? Everything. Tell us everything.
Ooh. I haven't seen him in a year. It's been so long. I've been locked in this swamp so long. I haven't seen him since he got it. Since that man gave him. Since the traveler, cloaked man, gave him.
A mask?
Yes.
A pallid mask of ash?
Yes. The cursed mask.
What do you know about it? Please, tell us everything, Mandrick.
Should I tell you everything? Will you help me leave here?
Of course, my friend, of course.
He always treated me well. I believed in him, but I've been trapped in here for so long.
What do you mean, trapped?
He closed the door behind him. Said he'd be back soon. That we were close.
Close to what?
To opening the gate.
What gate?
The gate?
His hand shaking, he points to the foot dais, the circular glyphs around it. That gate. That gate. To bring me home. Back.
To the Feywild.
Yes. 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 And in that quiet moment, as this traumatized satyr tries to inch out anything he can say to you, and as you question him, as this revelation occurs, the flickering light, the stove and torches, steam from the kettle rising, tea's ready. That's where we're going to end tonight.
No.
Thank you, everyone who stuck through with us to 10:30. Lovely session, very fun. Swamp of Sorrows. No, it's
Happy
not.
Hanukkah.
Luckily, we didn't see any. What is it? normally large rats. What is the
Are you
Rodents of unusual size.
rodents of you didn't encounter any
Size.
rodents of unusual size.
ROUSs.
It's on the other side of the swamp. But thank you everyone for sticking around with us. Happy holidays. Enjoy your Christmas. Enjoy your holiday. Enjoy Hanukkah. Enjoy the New Year. We'll see you all in the New Year. Correct?
Well, actually, no.
No, actually, no.
Next
We'll
week.
see you all
Right before the New Year.
right before the New Year.
So enjoy your Christmas and your Hanukkah.
So enjoy your Christmas, and we'll be celebrating New Year's Eve together next week. Thank you so much. We love you so much, and we're very excited for all your support. See you
Ilivana
next week.
bless you.
Thank you for the subs tonight.
And the grubs.
Thanks for enjoying
the nuts.
Mundog in Paradise with us.
Mondog!
By the way, it is just for everyone's sake to know the day of the week.
Of course.
It is the oh shit.
Hey, first of all, I'd like to say, not first of all, last of all, Randall Thor 09, whoever you are, it's a fucking dope name, bro. Keep it up.
That's Brian. That's Brian from our other campaign.
Oh, he is a Wheel of Time guy. I forgot about
He's
that.
actually sitting across from me at this table, waiting for us to be done to hang out.
Tell him to fuck himself.
It is the 5th night of Ervala, and it is Yavelistag.
Happy
Friday.
Yavelistag!
Happy Yavelistag, everyone. 5th night of Ervala.
I'm running 5th Night of Nonsense. What?
Have a lovely night, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Have a good
Good
night.